No, that's the
Oh.
calendar.
Oh,
That's
okay.
count.
That makes
Yep.
sense, I suppose.
Yeah.
I was wondering where the other one was. All right, cool.
Yeah. So you guys are on the ninth day, first month. We're just gonna make it easy that way. Um, so that means that a year. Oh, it does mean your stock of food has gone up by 3 days. It's not 30 days, it's 33. I said you guys got a month, and a month
Wait.
is 33 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There are a couple of like galactic standard calendars people have made online, so I assume this is one of these.
no, actually I kind of just fucked with it myself.
Fair enough.
So Earth still has an influence, I guess you could say. Uh
Not much
or
of one,
a
but
tradition has been kept. So there's 11 months now instead of 12. Each one's 33 days with 2 days set aside as days of remembrance for the basically each year, galactic year or whatever you want to call it. When the scream happened, it's 2 days around that time. Everybody kind of think of it kind of like Christmas and New Year's together. In a weird way. So that happens at the end of the year. So that's not on the calendar directly. But that way, you guys at least know what's up. So when you get down to 33, we'll start back up at 1, and that month you need to make a payment by the 33rd.
Well,
Which is
first
why I
one's checked
actually.
off, but
Yeah, the first one, you guys haven't made a payment yet, but you don't have to make a payment the first month.
mhm.
Yep. That's why there's a 1 there. But yeah, so typically speaking, you need to get to a station or somewhere or a populated system where you can make a transfer of credits by the 33rd of the month until you've paid off the ship. You
Which
can pay more off on the ship than is required, but you do have a minimum payment.
of $3 million.
what is the minimum? Out of curiosity, yeah.
It should be on the ship thing. Let me see.
Let's see. 24-month payment, 17,373. 75.
Yep. Over the next 2 years, you need to be paying at least 17,000.
All right. Easy
Also,
enough.
What is
some
this?
other
Animal
things.
Crossing?
Well, kinda. A little bit here and there. Secondarily, I have made a few other things. One, crew notes at the top for whatever you wish to have. The other thing I did is I added system info with the system name and its location on the map that is editable by you guys. What I'm putting in there is the base information you will know, just coming in, sort of gathering the contacts in the system. Basically, just the places. You guys can edit it, add notes as you want um, about
Or nuke it from orbit.
contacts or whatever else or things that have happened. But that way, you guys have an easy way to see what is in that system.
Hmm. We could go to Kissman and be gods. Anyways, let's
Wait,
go.
where?
I'm just noting that in the Ellis system, which is where we're going to, Kisma is only a TL2 system,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
or TL2 planet.
Yep. And there's a TL3 and a TL4. And so the setup there is obviously planets, and then the 1, and if there's more than 1, it'll be 1, 2, whatever. Those are space stations. I'll come up with something for moons when I get there, when you run into one that actually has a moon.
Okay. As in space stations, is in space ports on the planet or actual orbital stations?
Those are orbital stations.
Okay, there's nothing actually on the planets then, I guess.
Well, there are cities and things like that on the planets.
Right, but I guess it's a
But
bit too
this is
big to
sort of.
consider for now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where if you want to go to a planet, you say, okay, I want to go to, say, Kisma, whatever. Is there a place that we can land? And
Hmm.
at a TL2, maybe, doubtful.
A
but
field.
maybe.
Do
Yeah,
we
there's
know
probably
any-
a field somewhere.
Do we know of any TL5 systems?
There is old records. You guys have the most updated space star charts or whatever. So there is one place that was once a TL5, is now a barren husk with a single spaceport. It is under quarantine. It is called Chrysepe. It was once a TL5, and once in a while, stuff either gets excavated or stuff like that that is on the higher tech level. You're not sure how. Nobody's allowed on the surface. You're only allowed to dock at the station and only with permission.
Okay.
That's the only one that's really known around here. Ironically, it's one jump away from you right now.
In the other direction.
Yep. Well, you guys are already mid jump, so.
We got a job for now,
Yep.
but later.
Yep. All right. Now.
Oh yeah, I finished my midterm goal, which was get a bigger gun.
That was a midterm goal.
Well, technically it's long term, but I swapped it out at the
It's
last.
just a continual one.
Yeah, might as well just keep that. Get a even bigger gun. There we
Yep.
go. I'll just
There you go. You can just add the word even and you're good to go.
I cleared mine. It was leave the station safely, so I can get rid of that one.
I believe I got my tier 1, which is acquire a connection with our powered armored employers.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice.
you definitely started a connection there with and I was mispronouncing it. It's Alia,
Mhm.
not Allah.
I don't. But mine's simple. Complete a job.
Working on it.
Well, we kind of did one already.
Yeah.
But my character didn't.
No, you were with us.
Nope.
Like when we returned the ship. That was a job.
When you did return the what is
This-
now the Horizon.
This is my updated short-term one.
Oh,
okay.
okay, gotcha.
And
Oh.
we're working on it. I'm
Yep.
with you
Yeah.
there. My other short term is do the delivery job, which is turning into a bit more of a hot delivery, but still delivery.
Yeah, mine's find a crew / consistent work, which this will probably secure if we get it.
Mm-hmm.
My
see.
medium term is get some power armor.
Nice.
Working on it.
I want a vac skin, but apparently TL5s are rarer than I thought. So
In
Very
this, in here, yeah, TL5s are, yeah. Typically speaking, how would I put this? Like, if you have a bunch of TL5s in your sector or in your system, whatever region, that would be like running a really high magic campaign in D&D. We're kind of running mid-tier. There are a lot of TL4s in here, and quite a few TL4 plus. And there are ruins of TL5s here and there. I won't tell you where, but there are. But yeah, it's a little bit. It's not high magic, crazy, almost or equivalent game. So
okay, yeah, I mostly just wanted a vac suit that I can activate on a whim.
there's a possibility that you could mod something like that, or there's a lot of other ways to get around to that.
Okay,
that's all I'm gonna say. It just takes the right know-how and the right people. So,
Which we don't have. Dun dun dun.
well, we might have one.
Never know. So, who remembers what happened last time?
Well, we went on the job after some shenanigans with our powered armored employers. After leaving this particular sector, rather, they disclosed that they had a bit more of a elaborate scheme that we might be able to join them on. Basically, the initial job was to take them to 0306 as just a supply thing, or just to get them from A to B with some important cargo. That important cargo turned out to be people, and apparently not the only ones using people as cargo. Over in Mikula, they got a couple of their friends captured, some of their tribe mates, I think is what they refer to them as, or comrades or something or other. Point being, they want our help to
Sisters.
sisters. There we go. They want our help to take them to Mikula, and B, fix up some of their gear so that they are ready to storm the gates of the particular mercenary faction that took some of their sisters. And we decided to say yes. It will involve making our way to Mikula with our fuel reserves, as well as managing to sneak into the planet, the planetary orbit of the the planet that has the base, and skimming low enough for them to drop in with their power armor and whatnot. But overall, should be fairly easy.
Sorry.
There was also there you would get refueled one sector out from Mikula, as you wouldn't be able to make it the whole way yourself.
Yeah, okay. Good to know.
Makura Matata.
Yeah, something like that. That being said, there were a couple of other things that I think you guys may have heard what organization they're storming. I'm not sure if anybody remembers.
It's a band of mercenaries, is what I remember, which was hired by a certain planet.
Right.
Yep. Yes, I do.
No idea.
Well, it wouldn't be something that your character would necessarily know.
I'm
so-
aware. I'm not from space.
We're all from space. Yeah.
You're
Outer
just not really the
space.
fighting type most of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Since I left early, I'm just gonna say Lexi was like in the mess hall eating or drinking.
Yeah, I kind of covered for you and said, "Oh, she's asleep" or whatever. But
Yeah, cool.
Lexi would have agreed because it was a bunch of ladies asking to rescue a bunch of other ladies. So yeah.
Yep, yep.
Also, you can watch me work on their guns. Also, we're getting some pretty nifty bits of equipment out of it.
Yep,
I
yep.
guess you could apprise her later.
Well, I think the plan, as per Indra, would be to have you guys drop them. If possible, they would want to get a little bit of intel on the way, and once they get there, about the base itself. They only know that it's small, relatively small, and has at least one spaceship, as that's how they got whoever that they captured there. And work out details of how they're going to do the drop with you. They would have also requested at some point to move their cargo containers to essentially where the shuttle is and move the shuttle over.
We can do that next port. For now, it's going to be a little difficult in hyperspace. Yes, that's what I mean. In normal space, in static space, system space, that's the one. But yeah, that's totally doable. Sure, we'll have plenty of stuff to do once we make it to 0306. For now, though, we're in spike space and making our way towards that particular destination.
Right. There were two of their group that were injured, who are currently in the med bay, being poked at by Jace, as far as we know.
Eric, you might look like
Oswald, I believe
RoboCop.
you're helping with one.
I'm helping Alia with some of her personal equipment, and they're nerding out about gear.
Yep, and this is sort of just here at the end of this spike jump. You guys will be going into system in a very short order, really before you can dig into the equipment
Gotcha.
too hard.
Right.
Just sort of showing you what they have.
Mhm.
And there are a couple of interesting bits that definitely might pique your interest. Obviously, some minor damage to power armor and Icarus harnesses and things things that through your own experience you've got a little bit of experience with now. Not necessarily or easy jobs or simple jobs, but things you're pretty capable of handling. And multiple clusters with power packs of essentially thrusters, deceleration thrusters for atmospheric entry, but not for suits. They're bigger than that.
All right, maybe to be attached to the crates. If I were to guess, something like that.
She's a little candid about that at the moment. Or not candid, but a little not defensive, but tends to say, sort of go off the subject.
Well, I'm just saying you've got a lot of armament to transport here, and you're going to want all of them if you're taking down an entire base full of people. Makes sense. Judgment. And I mean, if it works, it works. Anyways, and then yeah, we'll move off the subject for now and see what we can get into. Just kind of take stock of what they have, see what I'm going to need to be working on, if I'm going to need to buy any parts from the system that we're on, the station that we're going.
All right. A lot of it is mostly fixable with some of the stuff you have around. Might have to cannibalize like a bulkhead for extra armor or plating or something, but nothing too.
Yeah, I still got plenty of some scrap at the very least.
Yep. All right. So, Tex, you see hear the 1 hour warning until exit a spike drive.
All right, I'm already up in the bridge.
All right. If anybody else has, or I don't know if you guys want to make it a thing where you just are automatically at your stations, or if you're working on stuff, it's up to you.
Yeah, Leaf will go up to the station.
Same.
Pew pew.
Yeah, just for the next hour, I'll head to my station.
Cheater. Cheater, cheater, pumpkin. No, no, kidding.
All right. There we go. So, in that case, as you guys come into system, once again, the sound of a spike drive charging up for its blast out, or its tunneling out of spike space, happens. It tends to make things a little bit louder, a little bit more uncomfortable for just a minute or two. And you successfully exit spike space, which is a good thing. Staying in there is a bad thing. So I'm going to move you guys. But right away, sensors pick up a few different things. This is just passive sensors. So I'm not going to make you roll for in-system trying to be seen stuff. First, there are 2 corvettes nearby with fighters deployed. There are you pick up all the same signals you expect to from your charts, and Tex, you get a message immediately. Tex and Girani immediately get a message from one of the corvettes. Grab that. It's actually just a straight up radio message played right over the speakers. Free Merchant Horizon, please transmit registration and flight plan.
Copy that, and I'll send the plan that I assume we have.
Yeah, I mean, you can at least say your destination, your whatever. Do you have a destination and system yet?
We'd be going wherever we could fuel up, and then
There are a
heading
couple
west
spots.
yeah, heading west along the
All right.
whatever the What are the tech? Is there a way that I know like the tech level of the planets? Like to know if there's fuel and what state the world.
So the stations aren't necessarily the same tech level as the planets, but
Okay.
Strickland Shipyard is a shipyard. Makes sense.
Right.
But let's see. You may have come through here once or twice before. Manti 1 is a refueling station.
Okay.
Um, and Vols is not really, I mean, it's barely a station. It's more of a research hub, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do Manti Station then, or if
Okay.
there's something like way lower population, I do that. I'm trying to keep sort of a low profile, but not obviously so.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, Manti's a lot smaller than like Strickland. Strickland
Okay.
is huge.
Yeah, Manti.
It's one of the big four. There are 4 primary ship manufacturers in this region of space. Strickland's one of them. So, as you send that info out a few seconds later, and a transponder code does come up. This is an MRC frigate, or not frigate, MRC corvette, and fighters. You get the fighter actually flies pretty close to you, does sort of a visual inspection of your ship. You get a return message.
Leaf
Be
waves up and go
advised.
at him.
Be advised. Flight restrictions are in place for this sector. The MRC has set out 3 tankers for refueling purposes. Please proceed to heavy freighter Adula. Coordinates are being sent now. Do not deviate from course or burn sunward, or you will be fired upon. If you need further information, tune into Ellis System Radio. Godspeed.
All right. I'll head towards the
Sure.
the freighter.
There is actually an Ellis System Radio, motherfuckers.
Because of course there is.
And then music. So, you see a massive freighter, 4 kilometers long. You've seen a few of them before, Tex. Many of you haven't. This is twice the size of the Kodo. Just hanging out. And several ships flying in that generalized direction. And several fighters escorting ships and just generally keeping an eye on what's going on.
Sounds good.
All right. Just
Jennifer
gonna.
Oz interrupting over the radio and says, song's a banger, but it's kind of a bit of tonal dissonance with the whole terrorist thing going on.
It's kind of why I love it. Yeah.
It's a pretty classic technique, trying to distract and take people's mind off of stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it's not working.
Never does. Well, unless you're dimwit.
Are we sure this population is up to our standards then?
And we'll just stop by the freighter, get our fuel, and be on our way immediately. We'll be all right.
Works for me.
All right. It's about 8 hours to the freighter.
Okay, that's not bad.
Just sort of observing relatively safe speeds as you see more ships popping in kind of behind where you were as they enter the system, kind of go through the same process and head off in the same general direction towards the freighter Adula.
Oh, this might put a little crinkle in our plan.
How so?
Hello.
Hey,
There you go. This is no deviation, and if we're gonna just be refueling and they're keeping an eye on it and everything, I don't know where to be able to approach that planet.
no, we're not in that sector. We're in a
Yeah.
so we're still like 2-3 sectors away technically, so we're fine.
Yeah, we're not at the target point yet. Although, hopefully, they can make an exception for us opening our cargo bays if we can, get the ship and cargo stuff sorted. That'd be appreciated.
Well, we can do that in the next sector too, though, can't we?
Yeah, I guess.
Because everybody has vac suits back there, I assume.
Power armor is automatically sealed, and this thing works as a vac suit for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Doesn't have the same kind of built-in compact oxygen tank as the one that I built earlier, but it does give it a bit more armor, and it's a bit. These just rail off about the suit that he currently wearing for the next 5 minutes.
I'll kind of interrupt him and just go. The important thing is that they wanted to keep a low profile when they were leaving, and I'd like to help maintain their low profile until we get there. So we'll be all
Yeah,
right in the system for now. So
And then over the sort of intercom, Mr. Tex, may we have com access? We would like to tell the ship that will be meeting us to meet us 2 sectors down instead of transfer here.
yeah, I suppose so. I'll actually, I guess I'd have to go through the captain for official permissions. Otherwise, I could just do it. All right, I'll click flip a switch. Yep, you got it. There you go.
Yeah, let
Thank
me
you.
patch you through.
All right. And you even see the message. It is encoded, but not crazily.
Okay.
It just says to meet in 0107 um, for refueling. And this is relatively common. There are a lot of refueling ships out there that run these sort of short hops for those ships that can't make it. Kind of fuel rats and Elite Dangerous, I guess.
Sure.
Except you have to pay them.
I think I know a guy like that.
Think you might. um, but yeah, so as you guys head over in general, yeah, there's a fighter escort that flies by, sort of speeding along this sort of almost column of ships that are flying in, waiting their turn to get refueled. The tanker itself seems to be able to handle something like 20 ships at a time for refueling. As most of it is dedicated to just storage space, but it does have the ability to refuel in space. So, eventually you get kind of up to your point, to where you're next in line, and are directed to dock up, refuel, and then follow traffic back to the outside of the system.
Sounds
Relatively
good.
simple. It's not a piloting check or anything. It's these ships are actually made to refuel their convoys, I guess you could say, en route, their defensive groups. So, as a heavy freighter is essentially the size of a battleship. Not that very many of you, if any, almost any of you, have even seen a battleship before. So, for the purposes of that, you get up, get your fuel. An incoming message does hit the ship as you guys are sort of undocking and on your way out. Seems to be a confirmation of coordinate data. Anything else you guys want to do in the system, or anything you want to do before you take off?
I'm just gonna take a look
blast
at
out of
any
here.
unsecured comms.
Okay.
Just
Go
packages.
ahead, give me a programming with wisdom. to notice them as the news alert hits again.
About 12 hours ago, at Strickland shipyard, an explosion on Arm 5 caused massive damage and detached both the arm and the ship and dry dock there. A heavy freighter being built for the MRC. Rescue efforts for the people and the
All right, what does a 10 get me?
flight
All
restricted.
right, you get some more encoded messaging. It seems like there's just a lot of MRC traffic, although decoding it would take you a fair amount of time. But you get the idea that the MRC are pretty pissed about, having stuff get blown up. Not exactly their idea of a good time. So, other than that, nothing too crazy. Um, a little bit of back channel communication, a little bit of other corporate stuff from Strickland, and nothing really stands out too much. Just normal traffic.
All right. Nobody hassling anybody specifically, or just being a menace.
There's a few no menaces. There's some arguments between various truckers about who gets to go next because they got to make certain deadlines and things like that. Nothing insane. Nothing that you feel is gonna like blow up into something huge.
Oh, that's
At least
disappointing.
not at the moment.
Nothing interesting going on here.
Other than the station being blown up.
Yeah.
Or damaged. But you guys begin your way out of the system. So it'll be 16 hours. We'll say with refueling time and all. We'll just call it a full day. So as you guys head out, mind you, that's a lot better than the 4 days it would have been, but also restricted. So about a day after you're in, you guys could have been kind of working on some personal projects and all that.
Is there anywhere we can actually dock into the station, or is it just refueling? Is there no way? Is there no actual
you
station
can
to go into?
you're not allowed on the tanker.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the tanker just sits out there, has a clamp system that essentially grabs onto your ship and then refuels you. It's like in-flight refueling for aircraft in a lot of ways. You're not
Right.
docking with anything.
Much slower paced.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, yeah, Oz would just be taking more looks at the equipment he needs to be working on, probably getting some starts on that, divvying out the
Okay.
tools and the spare parts he needs and has from
Trying to
his,
get organized and all.
Yep.
Okay. Alia will sort of do the same. She enters one of the containers, comes out with a large rucksack full of various tools that she uses. All well used, relatively well maintained, but have definitely seen quite a bit of love over the years.
Mm-hmm. She brings it out. I just kind of look at it and say, "You've been using that quite a while, haven't you?"
Well, they were my father's, and well, some are my own, and he taught me many things, and I don't know. But machines are so much simpler than people. I prefer
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, that's the truth. But well, I was going to suggest if they didn't have any sentimental value, that I had a spare set actually up in the workshop that I was going to be using on the field, anyways. Managed to nick it from, well, doesn't matter exactly. Point being, it's fresh. So if you wanted to, swap in some of the newer bits for some of the older ones, you got options.
I do know that I have lost a few individual pieces, so if it is all right, I would not mind replenishing and adding on the pieces that I no longer have.
Is it a 10 millimeter socket?
I was
It
just
is.
about to make that. Is it 10
That's
millimeter
exactly
already
what I was
missing from your
thinking in
new
my
kit?
head. It's always a 10 mil socket and and for some fucking reasons in my life, it's 7/16. Those are the
Yep.
two I lose all the time.
We
I
have a
have
total of 3 toolkits on this ship, and none of them have 10mm socket. But we're working on it.
all right. Well, perhaps we could make one. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we would take something, it might be a bit hard to work with, but I've always wondered about doing some metal work by using the laser torch in oxygenated environment to sort of reduce its threshold. Then if we reduce the battery manually by giving it a power diverter, and then he'll
Perhaps we'll
his
try. Yes.
yeah,
Let's not talk. Let's see what happens. Yeah.
I like you. Let's go.
Careful, you're gonna make him fall in love.
She basically shuts him up and goes over to the workshop
Finally.
and pulls out some scrap metal that she has to attempt to essentially create a 10mm socket, as there is not one on this ship, apparently. So, continuing on as you guys reach the edge of the system after a few hours, your attempts to make a 10mm socket work for the most part. It's not as grippy as you were hoping. It's not as it flexes a little more than your typical hardened socket, but it's serviceable. It'll work. Anyway,
It's hard to be precise. It might be like a 10.21113mm socket still.
it should do the job for what we have ahead of us. We have quite a bit of time before we land or continue the job, I suppose.
You are indeed correct, but that doesn't mean we can waste any of it.
Fair.
I think you
All
accidentally
right.
made a 7/16 socket.
I think he did. I think that's exactly what happened. But hey, whatever. Why is it always that size that gets lost? That's the one thing that pisses me off. Right in
Moving
that
on.
range. Anyway,
Because it's one of the most commonly used ones. Would
yeah,
be my guess.
yeah. They don't sell them in like 5-packs. Anyway, so Tex, as you sort of reach the edge of the system, I'm assuming you're gonna follow the actual trade lane this time, or
Yeah. I'm assuming that my charts are for all the systems that are on this map?
everywhere. Yep,
Okay.
everywhere on this map for 1 month. They'll be good. After that, or they'll provide a -2 bonus, I think, and then after that, it's just a 0.
Okay. Then in that case, I will trim the course again so we can take half the time.
All right, 3 days. As you reach the edge of the system, you'll see that you're in sort of a group of ships that all sort of reach a similar point in the system, and all start aiming themselves in various directions to go to nearby uh, sectors near here. Fighter escort sort of peels off as the spike drives spool up. You guys,
Could I also? Well, I would it help get me out of the crowd? Like, I don't know if that would matter in Spike Space, but would it help me get me out of the crowd if I rushed it and did it in a turn? I know there's a +2 to that for Spike Drills.
I mean, you could if you just wanted to speed the fuck up, but it would technically give you potentially a half an hour, but you don't know what these guys' spike drives are. They could be faster or slower than you.
Oh, that's true.
And by crowd, I mean across kilometers and kilometers.
Right.
Of space,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I do that. Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll try it out.
Right.
Now
We
we're
got fresh
taking wings.
rudder. This is fine.
You're gonna go for it?
Yeah. I'll just tell everybody.
It's a
All right,
9,
we're
so-
gonna do this one quick.
All right. Just see how she takes it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's under a 9, or it's under a 10, I think is your limit.
Yep. 10 is 10 or below.
It's a 9 right now, so yeah.
Cool. Punch
You
it.
sort of kick it up and
Yeah.
you're gone. You know that odds are somebody's gonna think you're some kind of hotshot stupid pilot, but whatever. But yeah,
And
you
they'd be
guys
right.
enter Spike Space, and you have 3 days of Spike time to burn. So, plans.
I'm taking
Uh,
another crack at the red hard drive.
okay, give me a program with intelligence as you're sort of breaking it down. Going for the red one, okay. $11. You make a bit of progress, less in decoding and decrypting the hard drive, but more understanding that little maybe 1% that you discovered or managed to decrypt before. It is a series of vectors, is what you kind of get out of it. Not entirely sure what they're tied to, but there is a series of vectors here.
Hmm. A treasure map.
The Last Crusade.
Never know.
I wonder if
Um,
it'll take us to a planet filled with treasure. A treasure
Some
planet,
sort
if
of
you will.
treasure planet. There you go. There you go. Well done.
Who knows?
I would like to call dibs on Jim Hawkins' Sky Surfboard, Solar Sailor, whatever the hell it's
Yeah, I kind of figured you would. You guys can fight that out.
called.
All right. Meanwhile, everybody else.
I guess I'd just go, like, obviously check in on the bridge every once in a while, but just go help out in the thing, fixing stuff in the cargo bay.
I could probably make a solar sail. Anyways, fix.
Sleeping.
All right. Nord, Jace had been working on
Wait,
the two
he had to
characters.
step away. So
Okay.
sorry.
All right. Well,
His
in your
mom. He had to
case,
call his mom.
yeah, no worries. In your case, Narisha, you're uh, over the course of the next couple days, you would have gotten sort of gentle, not like aggressive in any way, but just sort of, I guess, messages, just sort of an "Are you there?" sort of without the words, sort of psychic connection from one of the individuals in the ship that you'd spoke to before.
Yeah.
Just checking in more than anything else, making sure that you're still there and okay. And it seems like you get the idea that it's practice for this person,
Yeah.
to keep that part of their mind sharp. Um, yeah, you get that sort of feeling that it's like exercise. But she tries to be as unintrusive as possible. So
Okay.
at least that's helpful. But you just notice like a quick probe and then it goes away.
Am
Not trying to
I?
dig for any information or anything, just trying to make that connection and then drop it.
How can I go and try to like talk to this person? And
Sure, if you want
all
to.
right. Yeah, I'd like to talk to them.
Okay. Um, so you would head down to the cargo hold, and there you would see our Mr. Oswald, um, with some of the larger pieces that they're working on that won't fit through the fucking hallways.
Mm,
Go ahead and make me a fix
gotcha.
with we'll say intelligence, and you get a +1.
Neato.
Well, you got an assistant, and she's very adept at what she's doing.
13.
All right. So she wants to start on the thrusters for some reason before starting on the suits. So uh, that's where she sort of directs your attention. And you guys begin. There are 6 pairs of these thrusters, so 12 in total. Some of them only have minor damage. Some of them look like they could really use a proper rebuild. Um, and so with a 13, you guys start cruising through that. You're not completely done by any stretch of the imagination, about halfway through or even towards the end, but you've gotten quite a few of them done, tinkered with. There are 3 that are like full rebuilds, and you're getting a good feel for like how a thruster is put together. You already kind of knew, but these mini ones are weird.
Hmm.
They're really made for less for they're made for a lot of power in a very short period of time.
Hmm.
And you can tell most of them have been used at least once and require cleaning and rerouting of electrical wires and piping. Um, Basically, they just kind of need to get a tune up, and there's a lot of little pieces. It just takes a while, but
I'm going to use the opportunity while working on these to sort of ask, because Oswald is not subtle. He knows it's touch,
yep.
but he's not subtle. He's going to just kind of say, if I knew exactly what these things were actually going to be used for, there could be a way we could, change the design a little bit to work for that purpose explicitly and might cut down some of the overall utility. But for this particular job, I think it might be worth the risk.
Uh, I'll make you a deal. If we can get these ones up and running so that we know that they at least work, and get the other repairs completed and have time, then yes, I will show you what they are used for.
Just kind of gives her a smile and says, "Deal." Not gonna lie, probably not your best deal. I managed to fix a carrier ship in a day. Well, less than a day, about 4 hours. Uh, I think a couple of thrusters are not much of a problem, but then again, uh, first time for everything. That
Perhaps
is
I
to
want
say, first time anything's given me trouble with this particular guy.
perhaps I want you to see what we are using, but I am not allowed to yet. So this is my set of rules that I must
Then,
follow.
good on you rigging the game.
She just
And
gives you kind of like this smile of like, I know what I'm doing.
mhm,
But also, like, all right, I'm enjoying myself. This is a good time. And kind of goes back to messing with the thruster that she's on. Narisha, as you enter into the bay, you see um at this point, I think Jace's work with the 2 that were injured would be mostly complete, maybe check up once a day, but they just need rest. So you see them sort of sitting on the to the side. One of them apparently just asleep in her power armor, gun sort of across her chest. The other one is sitting, um, helmet off, his sort of long dark hair, wrapped up in a bun close to her head, eyes closed, sort of concentrating, I guess, focusing. But you do notice as you enter, her head tilts towards you slightly, uh, without opening her eyes, um, sort of just in an acknowledgement that she knows that you're there.
All right,
You
I'm
also
gonna.
go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say you would also see off to the side, uh, Indra drawing on some large sheets of kind of like butcher paper, um, referring to her own little compad or data slab as she goes, just drawing out something on a piece of butcher paper.
I want to go up to the person who's been telepathically talking to me and I just want to introduce myself in person.
All right. As you walk up, the dark-haired woman sort of looks up to you. Ah, it is nice to finally see you instead of just hear you.
Likewise.
I apologize for the connections. We have quite a task ahead of us, and I prefer to. Well, I am not quite able to move at full ability yet. Keeping my other abilities sharp is kind of a requirement. If it is disturbing to you, I will stop.
Understand needing to keep in practice. I mean, it's a bit startling in a way because not many have approached me in such a way in a very long time.
I see. As I said, if you wish me to stop, I will. Uh, but I suppose before we get to that, proper introductions are in order. My name is Adra.
I am Captain Narisha Evil.
Nice to meet you, Captain.
I hope you are doing well.
As well as can be. I only took two uh, heavy hits to the stomach, so minor bruising. But I should be okay.
Good.
Thankfully, with the abilities that I possess, I heal faster than most.
I see. Well, I'm hoping my doctor treated you well. I'm sure she did.
Well, the level of care was satisfactory, although the bedside manner was a bit terrifying.
Yeah, she
However,
has good skills.
after what I have seen, it was no problem.
Good, good. Well, if you need anything from me, just let me know. You know how to find me, contact me.
That I do. Unless you wish to be the subject of some of my other psychic abilities for practice, I suppose it's probably not a good partner, but you would be one of the few that I could use some of my abilities on.
What type of abilities?
Um, well, growing up, we there are very few like myself where I am from, but those that are, there are. How should I say this? There are three major, say, factions where I come from, and two are always fighting for as long as we can remember fighting. And we, the Rojava, stay. Well, we are trapped in the middle, in our from our home, and they have created over time several psychic units that are known to be very dangerous. So we have developed tactics and skills to stop those abilities to put us on at least some kind of even playing field. So those are the types of abilities I am talking about.
Do you teach me if we practiced for you?
I could try. What uh, some psychics are have access to everything in the psychic realm and
Hmm.
can be trained for many different types of uses. I could perhaps try to teach you some, or at least the basics. It took me very, very long time to master these things, but perhaps with quite a bit of hard work, but we could maybe make something happen.
That sounds interesting. I am quite skilled myself and am adapted to learning quickly and
But how about
maybe we can
this?
show each other a thing or two.
I will. Perhaps I can show you what I mean. See if you can connect to my mind the way that I have done yours. Yes.
Okay.
So you'll have to commit effort for your attachment or your psychic thing. But yeah,
Totally logged into the wrong roll 20. I just realized.
Good job. It
Good
happens.
job. I'm in dark dealings instead of.
Oh yeah, that's been a while.
Yeah, it has. I was like, wait, this looks wrong.
There we go. All right, so you're going to be going with telepathic contact, essentially.
Is that a thing?
That is one of your abilities, yeah,
Oh,
as
oh.
a psychic.
How do I use that? Oh, I probably need to be.
So you would roll your telepathy skill, I guess, if they're going to resist. She's not going to. She's just going to let you
Yeah.
attach. There's usually a save involved. She's not going to try for the save. But as you sort of do that, immediately, yeah, there you go. So it'd be a level 1, essentially. You're not doing anything too crazy. You're just saying hi, just through your mind. And the second you do that, you see her concentrate for just a second, and all of a sudden, that connection is completely broken. As in, gone.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, she then says, attempt to reach out again to anyone.
Okay.
And you find that you don't have that ability anymore.
Yeah,
You
I don't like
cannot.
that.
This is one of the things that we are taught. It is not easy. It is taxing, but. And then it drops all of a sudden, and you all of a sudden have that ability again. And she sort of looks to you and says, it is useful for those that I have heard tales that there are many specialists in biopsionics that will keep their warriors fighting well past the time that they should have been they should have died. But with that one ability applied correctly to that psychic, that warrior will fall immediately, and any others. Um, it is a relatively simple technique, but very effective.
Yes, I can see it being very useful in certain situations.
Yes, well, it is quite useful, yes, but I can attempt to teach you this, but it is not that different. It is a bit like making that same connection that you do, psychically, and then screaming in their head until they cannot no longer concentrate. It is not easy to do while doing other things, but with practice, it is possible.
I see, I see, yes.
So, this is the actual technique. But if you wish, we can sit down and I can teach you the basics. I have other abilities. I am not restricted in my learning, as some are. But perhaps this is well, it is niche, but it is useful. It is a good defense against others. There are other attacks as well, defenses as well, but for now, this is a good place to start.
Okay. We've got some time, so sure.
All right. So you sort of sit down and start talking with her. She sort of explains like the general process, I want you to roll me, and I know you don't have a high skill in this, and that's kind of the point. I want you to roll me meta psionics.
Where's
In
that?
your, it's in your
Oh,
psychic
there it
skills
is.
and techniques. Yeah. Roll the meta psionics, and if it asks for anything,
Yeah.
we're going to call it intelligence to just pick up on everything as she's teaching you. 9. You start to understand kind of the basics, and you keep attempting to put it into practice, and um unfortunately the base level is sort of, it really is just making that pathway and then screaming through it. This is a school that you don't necessarily have access to currently, but you're kind of understanding how it's supposed to work, and she lets you practice as much as you can, but um throughout the day you'll end up getting a little tired and start exerting more effort than you actually have. And she just sort of has you stop, and but you get to know her a little bit over that time, and she comes from a family where she's the only psychic um, in the family, and it was considered a bit. So she had a chance to go into kind of a clergy esque role, um, but was suppressed growing up, as her father was incredibly restrictive. In fact, the society was incredibly restrictive, and she talks about how when the resistance started, um, and they took back their land, um, she immediately joined the resistance and began training. So apparently, she kind of came late to being a psychic.
All right.
But yeah. Meanwhile, Tex, if you're walking around, you would see Indra drawing on a piece of paper out there. Well, um, Evil is speaking with this psychic off to the side.
All right.
Um, she eventually sort of notices you as you're sort of, just sort of doing your thing and looking around. And Oswald is talking with his engineering counterpart, working on, I mean, about the size of him thrusters, to be fair. Um, and Indra sort of waves you over, um, and asks you, What do you what do you know about assaulting bases? I see something in your eyes that tells me you are not altogether new to these sorts of things.
Well, that depends entirely on the base. If it's a fortified base, then I have some experience with them. I'm mostly more familiar with skirting around them in a sense, getting good eyes on you know my objectives. So-
I see.
but
Well,
I'm no stranger to good tactics. If you need any help with that, or just a ear to bounce ideas.
all right. Well, we have two pictures of this base only, unfortunately, and one of them is covered in snow. Apparently, it storms here quite a bit, unfortunately. Um, we know only that there are maybe 5 buildings, a small landing pad for ships, um, and usually a shuttle. Uh, Everything else is kept under cover, but we only know of these buildings. And she sort of lays out, there's like one large ish building and a few smaller ones. There's a large fence around, sort of like solid concrete wall around the compound itself. And in the pictures, you see it's covered in snow and ice. I mean, completely covered in snow and ice. Eh, my question is, if you were to take this place with Minimal information. Where would you say make some holes in the buildings? Which ones would be your main targets?
Well, that depends. Can you get on the roof? I don't know if you're able to.
I
I'm
am
not sure the
capable of doing
accuracy of.
this.
Okay, I didn't know if you were capable of landing on that directly or what the plan was with dropping in.
To be fair, if I want to, I can go through the roof too.
That's a fair point. I always find that this is kind of weird to talk about with you. I always find that hitting them hard and fast works pretty well based on what I've seen. My position was usually not always in the front for a lot of this stuff, but hitting them hard and
I
fast, you got to scramble
understand.
them and confuse them. So I would say um, it depends on. I'm worried there might be subterranean levels. Maybe there's not. I would hope not, but there are a few options going through the roof. I imagine that they'll probably be keeping an eye on the area around the landing pad because that's where somebody might try and come in normally. So maybe far side of that might work pretty
All right.
well. I
Well,
do have another idea, and I'll just kind of look over in, I guess, Ozzy's direction and go, "Hey, Ozzy, we got any spare paint that's hanging around from when we were working on the preferably white?"
Well, as far as I recall, we were going to keep this the same color, and we did. But let's see.
interior walls, you might have a couple gallons of paint laying around. I'll
Depends
give
on
you
what
that.
we're painting. I guess if needed be, I could try and let's see. I bet if I applied the right amount of heat to it, I could tone it. Maybe it depends on the material underneath, but I could try and either cause a bit of a chemical burn or something like that. I guess we have paint. We have
Okay.
paint.
Well, all right. That sounds like it was starting to get pretty complicated. Maybe if we just took some spare sheets, that might be a better option because that's removed.
Question: what exactly do you need this paint for?
Well, we don't know. Here, I'll just come over here for a second. I'll rather than shouting across the cargo bay.
Across the cargo bay,
Yeah.
yes.
Alia, keep working, and I'll head on over. I suppose.
So there's two possibilities for the location that we'll be sending these ladies to, which will either be a terrible snowstorm or, and I assume the other picture is just clear view, or is it still snowy in the other?
It's still snowy, but there's no like snow in front of the lens. Like the other one had like this. It almost looked like a. They're both aerial shots, top down.
Right.
Um, and one of them just sort of had. It looked like it was taken in the middle of a snowstorm from a decent
Oh,
ways up.
yeah, you said it was at the pole, wasn't it? So it'll
It
be.
is on the pole.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Not on the pole, but near it.
Right, right. Still up
Yeah.
near
I'm
like
gonna
the
say
glacial.
as he walks up, he does note. Oh yeah, you mentioned it was polo, didn't you? Something like that.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. That's in that case, we'll try and give these ladies all the spare sheets or anything that's white that we got, so they can use that as camouflage. I think that'd be a big bonus on their incursion. Preferably
Uh,
now that I've thought about it, something that won't stick to them in case they need to go inside and it's dark.
yeah, we'll see what we can do. Got some spare bright bugs if you. What the fuck was that? Got some spare bright bugs if you need them. Otherwise, you got a few gallons of paint left, I guess. We'll probably have to do light coats, but that honestly might be better in the snowstorm, anyways. Assuming there's a blizzard going on, will probably camouflage a bit better than just pure white.
I suppose I
Potentially.
should not lie to you. I am relatively new to many of these things. I know how to handle a weapon, but infiltration is not what I grew up with.
Really?
Defense, perhaps.
Although I
But
had a bit of a conversation. If you're landing on the roof, then we probably don't need to paint the tops or the side or the bottom, honestly. Maybe a bit on the bottom just to disguise it while it's dropping down. Then again, I don't know how quiet or invisible these thrusters are going to be when they're done.
I didn't know nothing about that. I was just talking about the suits. I turned it red. Were you dropping the crates?
we are dropping what is in the crates, yes. Let us say that the crates will come apart. What is in them will drop. We will also drop, well, four of us, two, one each will be in what is in the crates. And the four in their suits would very likely benefit from power armor. Or from sheets, things like disguises.
Yeah,
We do
yeah,
this very often
we'll do
with
that.
our power armor, and but once the two larger things drop, there will be quite a bit of noise. Yes.
Well,
All right.
I suppose the best thing then you need is just converting yourself on the way down. In which case, yeah, just painting the bottom of it. I mean, the raw steel that I tend to work with is already grey. He says it kind of taps the armor on his plating, which you were not aware. I had a little image of the Icarus suit in my bio.
Nice.
But he says, I guess just throwing in some more white paint on the darker bits, the fabric that you need for the joints. Then again, with your power armors, you're probably hydraulic, which means might be a. Can I take a look as well, just to see what I can cover and what might be a bit better just to leave as is?
Sure. Arya, come here. You can be the model. Uh, that being said, Mr. Tex,
Yeah, yeah,
I would be interested to get some more eyes on this. I cannot have this not go well
yeah.
for
I
many
definitely understand that.
reasons. Perhaps I did notice you have two larger. They seem somewhat experienced fighters on your team. Perhaps they could take a look. Uh, Perhaps they said we blast through the walls. That's okay. But there is one, the gentleman, the larger gentleman that seems like he is from the mountains himself. He has
Yeah,
seen combat.
I can pretty much guarantee Lexi would just say, make a big explosion or blow a big hole in it or use a big gun. Some variant of those phrases.
Which is
Leaf might
valid in
be,
its own extent.
it is for sure. There's always a place for that. Not
Mm, all right.
necessarily through the entirety of an incursion. But yeah, most I can honestly tell you is from my own training and some mild experience. Like I said, I didn't do a lot of infiltrations, but trained in it extensively. A lot of times you just want to be taking things room at a time, clear things, make sure you're watching corners, and try and pick a spot. I will say, and I don't know what you're dropping, and you don't have to tell me what you're dropping. If that's going to be big and loud and therefore a distraction, it might be beneficial to drop that on the other side of one building and then go to some other building and drop yourselves on the back side of that. So that may be an option for you.
I should perhaps qualify my statement earlier. Um, this is not exactly an infiltration.
Well,
Depending on how things go, this will be an assault, and we wish to take back prisoners of our own.
right. And I understand that, but you first you got to get in, and then the element of surprise
Yes.
is always a beneficial thing to have, and then you can murderize everybody in your path.
Second question, actually, regarding that. Is this a collect and escape operation, or is this a takeover?
Um, how you say this? This is a collect our people, capture theirs, and burn what they had to the ground operation,
Understood.
so that it can never be used against us again.
All right. Don't want to judge. Just curious.
Well,
All right. Well, I appreciate your input, Ozzy.
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
gonna go
get
back
to,
and work on stuff.
if you get the chance, I would like to talk to the other one as well. Perhaps he has some ideas. The
I'll
more information I can gather now, the better. I will obviously have to have a proper plan here soon.
I'll wait for Ozzy to walk off, and then I'll tell her, "Oh yeah, I'll be sure to go get Leaf and bring him down here." And we might need to be careful. Ozzy's likely looks like he's about to fall in love with that girl over there. You might be inclined to go.
Arya has their own sort of interesting charming aspects, yes. She is incredibly intelligent, although tends not to be so socially aware, so may not notice. But they are both young. Perhaps we let young love be young love
Fair
for
point.
now.
Who am I to judge? Well, not judge,
There
but
are.
interfere.
It is much better if she perhaps enjoys his company. It is much better than where we come from, where those things are assigned. I will not take that relationship away by force if I do not have to.
Just don't take Ozzy with you.
I will try not to.
All right, I'll go look for Leaf and try and find him somewhere. Probably in the bar or something.
Leaf, where you at?
Oh, he's dead. Tanaka.
Dead. He's probably sleeping.
Okay, I'd probably go check the bar and look at the bridge, and then go check and pound on the
Lexi would probably be drinking.
Oh, cool.
door. Okay, hang on. I'll pop in the bar real quick and go, "Hey, Lexi, if you had to infiltrate a base, would you just say blow up a wall and make a big explosion?"
Niet. You are stupid.
Well, all right then. Color me surprised. I didn't say I was gonna do it. I was just wondering what you.
No, okay, sure.
I'm gonna leave and go find Leaf.
All right.
Knock knock.
Yeah, what?
Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure Lexi's trashed. Hey, you got a couple
What else
minutes
is
for
new?
some? Yeah, you got a couple minutes for some consultation.
Sure.
All right. The ladies in the cargo bay are asking about some tactical advice. I wasn't sure if you'd infiltrated any places and cleared them out.
You could say that.
Okay, cool. Let's go have a chat with her.
All right. We'll open the door and head out.
All right, you see her basically in exactly the same spot. She sort of nods to both of you as you approach. Have you updated him about the situation?
Yeah, giving him a sort of brief overview of what you're looking for. He hasn't seen the map yet, though, so I'd show him the map and say roughly what they're planning.
Oh. Are you sure this base?
It is where my sisters are being held, yes. Why the
He looks
trepidation?
kind of. He looks kind of befuddled. That's not usually where we do that kind of stuff. That's a training base.
You get a real interesting look from from Indra for that one. She doesn't say anything. She just sort of looks at you, expecting you to.
Oh, yes, I'm very familiar with this base. I trained here myself.
Then why would it be used for something like this? All I know is it is where my sisters are, and they will be extracted from that base. And anyone
I-
who stops us will be destroyed.
I'm not doubt. I am kind of curious where you got this information from and how reliable it is. I'm not saying that it was, you was lied to or anything like that. I'm just, is this from a reputable source?
Gotcha. Here, give me 5 minutes, guys.
in a totally not conspiracy theory line of thinking, how crazy would it be for a training school of mercenaries to have their final test be convince some group to invade your school and see how your students do? That's pretty hardcore.
All right, I didn't know we were dealing with the Mandalorians.
That'd be awesome.
What?
This is the way.
Hey,
That-
Tex, I'm
that
picking up a
was-
lot of dudes in shiny armor with T-visors.
That was one of the inspirations.
Oh,
Not
really?
gonna lie.
Nice. That's awesome.
From my background, yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to need to have you confirm right now if you are or are not a Mandalorian. Do you have a jetpack?
I do not
Oh, okay. Yet.
yet.
He's a Mandalorian plus a Viking. It's better.
Ooh, dude, that's way better. You can...
Yeah.
A Viking Lorian.
You ruined it.
Yes.
What'd you say? I didn't quite hear you.
No, it's fine.
Oh, what'd you say?
You're
Come
a
on.
Viking Lorian.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
back.
that's
Sorry
right.
about that. Just
worries.
somebody was talking at me. All right. So, looking at it, it looks similar to what you remember. You would know not a lot has on this base changes. There's no funding for it.
Yeah.
There is a relatively new, to your recollection, comms tower installed. But beyond that, nothing too major has changed from what you remember.
Ooh, a comms tower? Hell, I'd say blow that up first. And they can't get the message out.
Hmm. This isn't usually the type of job that we do to begin with. Something's a little fucky here.
What if I told you they were paid by a very powerful militaristic government?
And money isn't everything.
For mercenaries?
For this mercenary group, yes.
Oh, all right.
What I know is that
I also base them off of Klingons.
Oh, shit. Mandalorians and Klingons.
Little
What the
bit,
fuck
yeah.
is wrong with you?
Oh boy, you better challenge them to like a fucking duel of honor or something.
Yeah. If you were
Yeah.
any
Well,
other
then-
man, I would kill you where you stood.
pretty much. Indra sort of looks to you and says, "What I know is, well, the information is good, at least. It was about a week ago, maybe two, that some of our people are there. There should be 5 total, or at least last we know, that's how many were taken.
Okay.
So they are being held somewhere in here, and I need to get them out."
Yeah, he'll point to the comms tower. It's been a while since I've been here, but last time I was here, that wasn't there. How's about instead of just straight up storming it, I take. Do we still got that shuttle? He'll look to Tex.
Yeah, it's right over there. Points at it in the cargo.
I take that down, get a lay of the land, see if my people are still there, and see what exactly is going on. If it is as you say, that's not something I can stand for.
Just making sure, just out of character. That shuttle can work in atmosphere, right?
It is,
Oh,
yes.
I forgot to ask that.
Yeah, no, it's capable of that, at least.
Raven lets you go through the whole procedure until you're hitting Atmo, and then you're like, and the engine cuts.
Mhm.
And the thing falls apart because it's really only rated for like between 0 and 1 G of force.
No Atmo package.
Burns up around you.
Damn it.
I think Lexi would probably walk it around now, hold the bottle,
Oh shit.
try to lean it up against the wall. She's not saying that shit.
All right. Well,
Would that be acceptable? And
perhaps when we get closer, we can make that decision. But I will keep it on the table.
Okay.
And she's looking at you warily as all hell right now.
oh yeah, but yes, if it is as you say, I will be on the front lines helping you because this is not something I can stand for. No matter what the job is.
Well, originally we were just going to do a flyby and drop off, but if this is something you need to do, it's definitely something that I think we could look at.
Yes, I. And he's starting to look visibly angry. I can't really do that myself right now, but yeah.
Show me your war face.
Fucking meds. So you had asked, let's say your information is accurate, and how would I go about? Fucking A, really? Assholes. He'll look over the map. Do you actually have a map for this place?
Sorry, phone was being incredibly stupid there.
Oh, okay. I was starting to think I was just talking to myself.
No,
Let's say like, fuck.
yeah, it went super garbled there for a second, and I caught like half of what you said there at the end, but I didn't catch all of it.
Do you have a map, a current map of the space?
I can
As a
construct one very quickly because it was not one I figured you guys wouldn't get there today, so I threw that one on the back burner. But I can construct one very quickly for you.
Yeah, just a simple. Oh, the buildings are here, the fence is here, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Because I don't know, would that really be metagaming?
No, you guys have pictures.
Okay. I'm gonna step out for a smoke.
Yeah, switch mic. All right, text tool. Where you at? There we go.
Alexa's just gonna peek over at the map. Let's go back to our corner.
All right.
Where are
Yeah,
you
you
guys
too.
holding this meeting, by the way?
In
the
the
cargo bay.
cargo bay.
Ah, excellent.
Is it?
Depressurization. Everybody gets
Yeah,
shunted
right.
out into space.
No,
This is
just
why I wanted a vac skin.
I'd survive.
because
Yeah, you.
Durrani would only come out like every couple hours or so to like go grab some food from the kitchen area.
Oh, yeah,
Only
they're
if
playing
Lexi
too much
wasn't
Fortnite.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, this would probably be her window right now to go.
You're just watching over the CCTV. As soon as Lexi gets down there, Johnny sneaks out to the kitchen and back.
Yep.
I dig it.
The rest of the time, he's literally just in the comm room or the tech room, unless somebody needs him to do something.
All right. So that is essentially what you guys are dealing with. And we'll worry about some of that in a bit. As this discussion continues, though, Tex, you'll get like the 5 hours to
Perfect.
spike exit.
Sure.
I think I did a pretty decent job for all of 30
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that works.
That's what you see. Outer walls and
Yep.
those are where the buildings are.
What kind of walls?
They're about a foot and a half thick concrete. You would know it's built. Well, I already told you where it was built.
Yeah.
And generally kind of somewhat covered in snow, but the landing pad has enough space for um uh a few ships. But typically you'll usually see sort of an iced up freighter, or not freighter, but like shuttle.
Mhm.
Larger than the one that you guys have. It's a pretty decent sized shuttle. Um, on the landing pad.
Would he know the most likely place that people would be held from his
Right.
when
Well,
probably up to date by now? But yeah.
yeah. The main building is typically berthing, canteen, training area. Yeah, living space, really. The adjunct building towards the landing pad is for landing controls. The northern adjunct building is typically equipment. It's a workshop to work on various items, especially
Equipment.
weapons, armor, that sort of thing. The adjunct building to the far right tends to be kind of a utility building. They use it for sometimes it has been various things. A firing range. It's been extra equipment storage. It's been a classroom. It's been a lot of things.
Okay.
And then
I would have no idea about the comm.
yeah, well, the comms tower has been added on to that building. It was always kind of the an intel center
Okay.
to an extent. But yeah. It's more mechanical. That's where there's like hot water heaters for the complex, a lot of like the
Logistics.
kinda, yeah. It's almost like a maintenance place. It's got generators, it's got all that sort of stuff, but there's a comms tower on top now.
Hmm. The most likely place would either be, I know, point at this building or possibly this building. But if I were to go in first, I might be able to figure out exactly where they are and relay that back to you.
So, I am trying to understand this correctly. You would go down alone
Mm-hmm.
and somehow report back where the prisoners are, and then we would attack. The attack part, I'm fine with. This is fine. And you going down alone perhaps is fine too, but how are you planning to tell us exactly from when we are in orbit? To make this work properly with the proper amount of surprise, we should drop from at least the stratosphere.
Discord.
We should be dropping from at least the height of the stratosphere, if not higher, to make this work.
Is Oz still around?
He'd still be in the
I
cargo bay,
almost
I think.
cargo
Yeah.
bay.
Yeah, pretty much. Or the reactor room for some reason.
Or the reactor room, or the. I have plenty of homes.
Anywhere that there's mechanical shit, he's happy.
Do you know of any way to, I don't know, make a comm system reach orbit? Is that even possible? I have no idea.
Depends on the type of comm system, I would imagine, but maybe.
He'll hold up his broken one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you did that.
I'll take a look at it. What is this thing, and how could I make it do what he wants?
It's just his compad
It's a compad.
Okay,
that he broke.
right.
Because some jackass.
The fucking calls. How great would that be if they persisted too? You fix it and
It still just goes off.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I think let's go.
Maybe not this specific one, as it is kind of yeah, but one
So,
like that.
do compads use radio? What do they? What's their? I imagine they don't use radio per se. Do they use Wi-Fi? What's their?
They would tend to use sort of a cellular network in a way. The thing is that cell towers are pretty sparse.
Probably only stations or setups in.
Yeah, typically speaking, you need a comms array and or a comm server, a proper
You
one.
mean
That being said, if
kinda
you
like
had
the
a
one on the base?
yeah, the problem is actually getting into it.
Mhm.
And
Mention, I
there
guess that. Well,
there
Gironi,
is one.
Gironi, if you wanted, could probably get this thing to work to a station on orbit, but I have to fix it up and probably boost its payload capacity somewhat. Honestly, if we wanted to get this thing connected, we'd probably have to use some form of radio if we're not trying to hack in, which I'm not saying we can't do, but it would mean having to add an entirely different system to this thing, which might add to the weight and lessen the portability, but
Leaf's eyes glazed over.
it's possible if we were getting a bit more niche with it. What exactly are you trying to do here? Exactly, just surf from orbit, or
Basically, I want to go in first, get a lay of the land, figure out what the fuck's going on there, and then get word back to you on said how it's going down there.
so your plan is to head on in, get a lay of the land, and then beam us back either some camera footage or some form of ideas.
Hey, yeah, it's Fucky here. Come on in, type of deal.
All right. I figured the assumption was that it was fucky and that we were just going to go in anyways. Well, they were, but
Well, Leaf has some inside information on this place, and he had some concerns.
fair enough. I can get something to work probably. I'll need Gianni's help just to get the systems in order, but I can maybe get it to work. It's if you're just looking to send a signal, not information, video, anything like that, probably best to use a radio, which is going to move a bit slower than sound tower, but it's the best that we've got and the safest option for what we have right now. I'm gonna get to work on an attachment after fixing up their gear, because let's be honest, this is a lesser concern than the job. But I will get to work on it when I
Okay,
can.
that's wild. Okay.
All right. Well, I think this leaves us in a simpler place, but that does give us an idea of where to strike. That is useful. Mr. Leaf,
Yes.
what do you know about the manpower here usually? Perhaps we can use some of this to our advantage.
When I was there, it was mostly a couple teachers, veterans, but mostly young pups, new
All right.
recruits, that type of deal. I
I
think,
see.
if I remember right. I don't remember what you had said.
It was a training and pass through base, so yeah, extracting refugees from
That's right.
the area. All right. And do you know anything about their, say, ship capabilities? I do not wish to get into a fight with a ship that
I
is too
don't blame
fast for me. We are kitted out for ground combat. We
you.
can fight some ships, but
From
not.
what I remember, there wasn't too many ships. Maybe a couple, like scouts to like scout around,
All right.
but nothing major that I could remember. Out of character.
It's no worries. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, we didn't
So
really go into that, if I remember right.
yeah, not too much. All right. So I have some things to think on. Thank you all for your help. Um, I will. Perhaps we will talk when we get closer and have what we will and will not have available to us more identifiable. Until then, I think it is perhaps simpler to sit on these factors for now. There's nothing more that we can do, and
Fair enough.
until I know what our resources will be, I do not want to make a definitive decision.
Fair enough.
All right. And then you can just see, like, you know, just exhaustion pass over. And then Tex, you recognize you every time you've taken a walk around, and Oswald, every time you've walked down here, she's been awake and working at this. And you get the idea she might not have slept in the last 3 days, even in Spike Space.
I'll tell you what, Indra. Nothing helps a clear and sharp mind like a good bit of rack time. So as the unofficial, actually not a doctor, I'm prescribing you some bed rest tonight. So get some sleep and see if you can think of something clever tomorrow.
She sort of looks to you, this sort of like almost, you get this kind of sad smile from her, but appreciative at the same time. All right. I think this might be the best choice. I will try to sleep.
We still got a few days. We got time.
If only we didn't. If only we were faster.
I'm trying to make it as fast as we can.
I know. But I
Should
worry.
have leadership.
I worry a lot for my family.
I
And she
understand.
sort of kind of picks herself up, walks into one of the containers, and you just sort of hear metal on metal as she sort of like
Clang.
pretty much just
Oh,
straight
straws in there.
as her power armor hits the metal side of the shipping container. But at that point, you get another sort of alert. After a lot of talking, it's getting close to time to jump out.
All right, I'll head up to the bridge.
Okay, I'm gonna move this.
Go back to the
here.
station.
All right, 3 days elapses. And you guys are in sector. All right. Once again, you all
That was
hear.
4 days total, right?
Yeah, it was 4 days from entering the last system. Only because you did not go into the system proper. Because the tanker was relatively nearby. So you weren't required to. So, as the sound of the spike drive spins up, gets pretty loud for a second, and then shunts you back into normal space, you complete another spike jump without dying, which is a good thing.
Yay!
There are no ships around immediately. Yeah, at this exact moment, you don't see anything. If you want to do a sensor sweep, you can.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I believe, if I remember right, this is a little bit weird, but figure why not. Here we go. So I need a notice. Notice check. And are you doing an active scan or a passive? Basically ping, or are you just listening?
I'm just listening.
Okay. Yeah, with a -2 modifier.
One
Notice
ping, and
with
one ping only.
yeah. Notice we'll say with intelligence. There's more of a programming getting the sensors to do the thing that you want it to do. All right.
Woof.
All right. You ping out and everything does seem clear as well.
Wait, did you say intelligence or wisdom?
Intelligence.
Yeah, that's you. You
Oh,
rolled
hold on.
wisdom.
Does that change anything?
I would hope he would be smarter than more wise. Wait, what?
Intelligence.
Sorry, that was using the wrong modifier.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 2d6 plus 1. All right, yeah. All right. You send out, or you listen for a little bit as you enter system. Don't notice too much. Seems relatively quiet as you're continuing. And you're kind of just letting the ship cool down a little bit after its spike in. About 45 minutes goes by, and Tex,
Yep.
give me a notice check
Great.
with wisdom.
With
This is
wisdom, okay.
visual.
Cool. 6.
So you don't really notice it until suddenly there is a laser bolt that hits the side of your ship, causing relatively minor damage. There's 1 point down on your HP. Let me grab the horizon here.
Whoa.
And at that point, you do notice there is a fighter of some type screaming in at you and lining up for the next shot.
Just one fighter?
One fighter that you can see at the moment, yeah.
All right. Do I get any kind of alert when we have a sensor lock on us? I forget what the rule for like an active sensor lock.
If it's an active one, that's one thing, but this seems to have been done passively. However, after that hit, they will attempt a sensor lock on you, a
What?
proper one.
How quickly can I try and do another spike jump with like the rapid one?
You have 15 minutes, one round of combat.
Oh, it takes. Wait, it takes a
1 hour
to
cooldown. This
cooldown?
is
Okay, I wasn't sure what
is
the cooldown was.
yep. 1 hour
Okay.
cooldown, and so you got 15 minutes
Okay,
to
I will
figure out what you're doing.
cue
It's
the red light. Whoop, whoop.
all right, and everybody, you all see that. It's definitely like new, problematic.
I'll come over the comms and say, "Hey, we got some pissant and a fighter trying to shoot at us." Well, he did shoot at us. To stations.
I will attempt an active ping and then scramble out of city.
Look over to Alien and say, I've got to go, but stay safe. And dash over to the engine room.
Leaf will wake up at a station.
Yep, Lexi
He
will
just sleeps in
run
the
over
turret ball.
to the
That's awesome.
He's just sleeping in his in the gunner seat.
Yep.
All right,
Hey, it's not the worst place you slept.
that's fair.
As long as you don't wake up and pull a trigger all of a sudden. Ah!
Yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of imagine he wakes him and reflexively grabs the trigger and just.
All right, so it is screaming in at you guys. It's a little ways away, but it's within weapons range now.
gonna
It rolled an
face head
8
on with
for
it.
that, so you're gonna need, if you're trying to avoid it's a lock.
Yeah, I don't know if I have to pilot for that, but I'm gonna basically, if I don't have to do that, I'm gonna face straight onto it to minimize our.
Okay, it'll be frigate. Or you guys are a
Yeah, we're a frigate.
considered frigate. So piloting with +2, I think, is what it is.
Okay.
You gotta beat an 8.
Pilot. Oh, either intelligence or
Pilot
dex. I
dex.
guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Either one.
14.
All right. It does not obtain a sensor lock on you, so you are capable of running away.
Sweet. I tried
And
rolling.
it can't
It was a
track
good
you,
trick.
but it can see you. So you gotta kind of try to outrun it too, or something. But yeah. So, at
Leaf's
this
on the
point,
cannon, right? Not
Leaf
the
is.
Sandstormer.
I don't remember which one took
Leaf.
which.
Which gun are
Leaf
you
is
on? I
on
think you're
the
cannon.
cannon. Yeah.
Laser.
All
I'll
right.
say, Leaf, shoot some bitch.
All right. Well, that brings us to our first space combat.
Yay!
So, assuming
yet.
everybody goes to their stations, which I'm going to make that as an assumption.
Yeah, I'm going up there.
I basically
All
live
right.
at my station.
So, what we're gonna do? Where is it?
Geronimo, close the Fortnite. We gotta fight.
Oh, that's fucked. All right, so
Hold on, just
Captain.
Let me close down Beta Star Citizen.
Wait, I want chicken dinner. I want winner chicken.
God.
Captain will have to roll a D8. There may actually be an initiative, but
You said
in the
Captain
ship
rolled
sheet.
a 8.
Yep. So the fighter gets to go first. So the fighter will kind of screaming at you. It's going to make another attack against you guys' AC. It's a 5. It misses, overshoots, sort of flies right over, sort of behind, crosses the T behind you. But it does miss. So, and then it's going to burn to catch up. So, Captain gets to decide what order the sections go. That's bridge, comms, gunnery, in engineering. Yeah, yeah, you're being put on the spot, as well as your own actions. So if you're looking for this, this is page 121 in the Stars Without Number book. Might be useful to have open.
Yep, got it open.
One, oh yeah. I was gonna say 117, but that's just the actual thing.
Yeah, including the front cover and all.
Yeah.
Captain gets to choose what options that they're going to take. So what order things are going in and what their action is. So, Captain Evil, what you got?
I'm sorry. What page was that on? Because I'm trying to.
121.
Of the
Okay, thank you.
PDF.
Yeah, of the PDF. Yeah. In the book, book numbering is 117, but I just go with the PDF number because you can type it at the top and skip right there.
I guess the bridge would go first then.
So Bridge is first. Who's up next?
I have to pick every one of these. Okay.
Yeah, in a line.
Comms. I'm just gonna kind of wing this.
It's fine.
'cause I
Sounds
haven't put
good.
any
I
thought.
will note, do we have anyone, I think Jace is on general actions. Do those have an order, or they just go whenever they go?
They go whenever they go.
Okay.
Bridge comes.
Gunnery, engineering, captain.
Okay. So, in general, can step in and do something whenever they want. So there is the order. So bridge action.
You said they flew past, right?
Yep. Unfortunately, you have no
will-
command points.
Oh,
Don't you get command points at the start? Or is that not the case?
You have to generate your command points in a round.
What group? What is it? The
Alright, so
engineering that does the command? uses
General
points?
activates command points.
Oh,
So I think
general.
there's
General and anybody that is not doing something directly with their section can also use general actions.
yeah. So if bridge is up, but you don't have any command points, you can generate command points for the next guy.
Yep.
okay. Yeah, I'm just reading through this real quick. The command points thing.
So I think
Lexi
is
will
Lexi-
use her general action and
Okay.
confirm the target.
Okay, so confirm target. What action are you taking?
General action.
Do your duty.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. So, how do you want to confirm? Well, okay.
Well, I'm
So
in the sand thrower, so I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
I
So-
imagine that I can assist with the lock on.
All right. So that'll be one command point for. Just gonna do it like this. All right. So we kind of skipped over comms, but whatever. We'll roll with it. It's fine. So, bridge. What do you want to do?
So I don't have any command point.
Yep. So you'll need to generate some, hopefully.
Okay.
There's
Then
two ways
I
to do it.
guess. Right. I guess I'll try the above and beyond thing and just like,
Okay.
I mean, I kind of want to use that to at least face towards where they're
All right.
going rather than actually
Try to
evading
line
them,
up for
but use it-
everybody else.
Right, right. So like
Okay.
getting ready to pursue because since they're currently facing away from it.
All right. Let's go piloting with dexterity.
Yep.
Makes sense.
8. Shit.
All right.
Fuck it. I'm gonna re-roll that because
All
I
right.
need
Fuck yeah.
difficulty 9, and I can do
There
that.
you go.
So,
Roll it.
12.
There
we
you
go.
go. All right. What's your skill level?
So then we get what skill level?
Yeah, it's
It's
not
plus
just
one,
it.
right?
Oh, gain your skill level. Oh, okay,
Uh-huh,
yeah, it's plus
that's-
one.
It's
So
plus
you
one,
get
3.
Yeah,
3
cool.
command points now.
Sweet.
All right, so there are 3 command points here. Comms, you're up.
I will attempt to use my comms action for crash systems.
Okay.
It's 2 command points. Roll an opposed int program check against a targeted ship. On a success, it starts its next turn with a command point penalty equal to your program skill.
Okay. So go ahead and roll that. They're gonna be. Yeah.
God damn.
Okay. Unfortunately, they managed to beat out your program skill.
Son of a bitch.
All right, 2 down. I need to come up with a better way to do these command point pools. Gunnery, you're up.
Okay. Before that, I'm gonna do my general duty for do your duty.
Okay. That adds on a command point. I need to actually set this right. There. That's terrible.
A total of 2.
Yep, 2 command points. That you
Alright.
get to play with there.
I'll fire a weapon.
All right. Which one are you firing? Which one are you on?
I'm
He's
on
on the laser.
multi.
All right.
on laser.
So under the horizon, you get
Any
to.
modifier?
I believe it's modified by your shoot score.
Shoot and attack bonus, or is not attack bonus?
I think attack bonus is when you're on the. It might be on the ground. I don't know. I need to figure that out. Hold on. Single ship's weapon. I don't care about that right now. Please just stop. Here we go.
A normal hit roll using their base attack bonus plus the better of their intelligence or dexterity mods.
There you
Plus
go.
a shoot skill.
Yep.
So yeah, like a normal gun.
Yep. So just add all that together as a modifier. I think what we'll do is we'll put in individual things for the ship for you guys later, so that you'll have your actual stuff
Well,
automatically done.
you could just click the thing and put a modifier of your bonus.
Yep, that's what I'm
That's
saying
what I'm
to
doing.
do.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Do that.
Yep.
14.
14. Let's see. Unfortunately, this thing's got an AC of 16. Because it's fucking tiny. So it manages to sort of roll up and around the laser as it begins making sort of Immelman turn back around towards the ship.
Do our the multifocal laser and the sand thrower have sights on them?
Kinda, yeah.
Like, would I be able to see any markings on this thing?
I'm gonna call that a free action sort of thing for the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You do actually see some kind of marking. It looks like a Z with a line through it from top to bottom.
Don't
Not one
recognize
you
it.
guys. No, yeah, you wouldn't recognize that symbol. All right.
Engineering.
Yeah, it brings us to engineering at the moment.
Out of command points. I mean, I can't do much at this point. Because next it's captain, and captain doesn't have anything they can do. Actually, hold on.
A couple things.
I think Captain
Yeah.
can.
Captain generates command points, but they don't have a lot they can. So generally, evil looks like Captain's supposed to go at the start of a turn, but we will fix that later. For now,
Yep, no worries.
I guess I will just do my duty, get a command point. Simple and easy. We're going to lose these command points at the end of the round, anyways.
Yep. All right. So gain 1. And yeah, that's when the initiative resets.
Oh yeah, support department's going to be huge for captain
Yeah.
because that's just you. Basically, you can get like a free action for a lot of them.
Yep.
It's two fewer points.
Mm-hmm. So, the round resets. The fighter is going to come back at you. It will take its shot at you guys. No mod. 17 does
That's a
hit.
hit.
Yep.
You
Ouch.
take 2 more points of damage.
But why didn't I get to do anything?
Because Captain can't do. Well, actually, no. You have some reactionary things you
Yeah,
can do.
yeah, you
Everything in
can.
Captain Actions is 0.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to be at
That's
the start of
how
the
much it
because
costs.
Okay.
everything in Captain Actions, if you note, is all stuff that happens later in the round. So, for example, Into the Fire means you can use any command point to keep it together is a reactionary thing when you take a hit. So you can use that here. But the main
Mhm.
thing you would do is support department, where you would choose a department that takes 2 fewer command points for an action. You would do that at the start of the round, so when the department comes up, they can do more in that round.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem was that everybody else had gone. So there was and you guys hadn't been hit. So the captain actions weren't really effective. I should have said that out loud, but I was thinking it loudly, if that matters.
Can she
No,
still do general
anyways.
actions though?
Yeah,
she could still do general actions, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't do
Um,
much.
Generate
So
points.
the
for
thing
us.
to remember is
But-
your command points are used up at the end of your
Right.
turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And it is turns ended. Anyways, point being, we have taken 2 damage. Before we take that damage, Captain, would you like to use Keep It Together?
Sure.
I would read Keep It Together before saying that.
Yeah, I would prefer not because it was only 2 damage.
2 damage
Yeah,
out of 8,
so-
so it's a quarter of our health.
So per round, does that mean like the whole fighting incident, or
No,
each?
no, per turn, I
Yeah.
guess you could say. So on one turn, right? Your ship has its own turn, and their ship has its own turn. So their ship will generate their own command points and then fire or do whatever their actions are using those command points. On your turn, everybody, so you decide who goes in what order. So you usually want to throw the people maybe who aren't going to be doing a whole lot towards the front to generate the command points that you guys will need to do the things you want to do. And then you guys will fire or whatever using up those command points. And at the end of that turn, you lose all your command points and we
Have to
start
start
again.
over.
Yeah. Each round is 15 minutes worth of time. So essentially that happened over the course of 15 minutes,
Those are
that
long
last round.
rounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
That being said, you could technically spike jump if you wanted to.
Right. Yeah.
But
Now, does that count as evasive maneuvers, or it's just its own thing?
let's see.
Oh,
I
it'd
think
be
escape
It's a-
combat.
Yeah, escape
Oh,
combat.
right. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Okay, so this is my turn to pick one of those things to do for this round.
No, this is so you have a skill called Keep It Together, which is a reaction thing. You can use this action use this action in instant response to an enemy hit. You can only use it once per round. So, do you want to have us take the 2 damage, or take a crisis, which is a miscellaneous bad?
Could be better than taking
Yeah.
2 damage, but it could be a lot fucking worse.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
level
knowing
with
our
you.
luck,
Like
that's
engine
probably gonna
lock,
be worse.
hull
Okay.
breach, VIP.
You have
much.
20
Herald.
HP for the
Okay.
ship, so you're only down 3 so far.
Oh, I thought. Where is our HP? Hold on. Oh, there it is. There we go. HP is changed. All right. In that case, next round, Captain orders, command order. That is.
I'm gonna do the support department and support the bridge.
Okay.
You gotta put the things in order. But yeah.
Oh, I
All
have
right,
to
so
do the order
Cat
every
first.
time? Oh shit.
Yeah, so each time you get to change it in case maybe this time you need engineering to go first really bad or whatever. You get to choose if you can always say same order or whatever, but yeah, what
But
you want
generally, Captain would go
if you
first.
want to escape, you want to really push as many command points towards the bridge as you can get.
Yeah.
But if you want to blow this asshole out of the sky, you probably want to do gunnery.
Yep, exactly.
Or comms, actually. Wow, that comms does a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Okay. I guess I'll do. Comms. Engineering, gunnery, bridge.
Are you putting yourself first then? Is that the assumption?
I thought I
Yeah.
had to go first every time.
You
I thought
you
that's
don't
what
have to go first, but you can and you should. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going first.
Yeah, and then you're
doing what I said.
supporting bridge.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay, cool. So bridge, you have support.
Cool.
That brings us to comms.
I will attempt to. Do we have enough CP for?
You can go in the hole if you want to. You have no CP currently.
Well, Jace did do your duty.
Oh,
so you
Chase,
have one CP.
do your duty. Okay, so you got one. Sorry, I didn't see it. There's my one CP.
Okay, I will select do my duty as well and gain one more command point. And I
Two.
will attempt to maintain lock on this guy.
All right. All right, that works for me. That brings us down to engineering.
All right. Is the plan to fire? Or is the plan? What's the deal?
That some bitch.
Huh?
Shoot that some bitch.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna go above and beyond, and I'm gonna try and basically see if I can get more power to the guns that need them to increase the response time, make sure they're operating at full efficiency, all that fun stuff.
All right, let's go fix with dexterity. You got to do this quick, as the guns are already starting to charge.
12.
Oh yeah, more than enough. What's your modifier?
1.
All
It's
right,
level
so
2.
that's another 2.
It's got a total of 4.
So now we get to gunnery.
Hmm.
That's Busty. That's Tanaka.
I
Now,
have 4 points.
here is what I'm gonna say. Normally, one person runs gunnery. I will say that each of you can fire your requisite weapon, and then one of you can choose a general action. Either one of you guys can sort of
Well,
choose,
there's
because
fire
normally
all
it's,
guns, and then you can do a.
and then you can do a general action or the opposite order. It doesn't matter, but one of
Yes.
you, because for flavor, we have 2 people in gunnery, but
Yeah.
technically it's just supposed to be the one.
The one. Yeah.
So
I don't mind
Um,
doing jack shit. No, I'm just saying.
Well, not
Okay.
jack shit. You're still helping, but you're just.
all right,
You know.
you want to do your duty? You want
Yeah,
above
I'll
and beyond?
do my duty and
All right.
yeah.
That brings us to 5 command points. That's the most you guys have had so far.
James
Uh,
gunnery, which is Leaf. What you doing?
Fire all guns.
All
Fire all
right.
guns. That's 3 points, I suppose. Leaf, click yours for multiple laser, and then Lexi, click on the sand
Yep.
thrower. Put in your
All right.
modifier. Nice.
Jesus fuck. All right. As this thing turns around, fires its next shot at you, Leaf, you find yourself in this interesting position where the guns feel like they're vibrating a little bit, and just more so than normal. They seem to be somewhat overcharged, and you kind of just get that perfect line and send one shot screaming through the bottom, basically half of the ship. It doesn't kill the pilot, it does make the ship real fucking damaged all of a sudden as a laser bolt just rips right through it at max damage. But yeah, it's not that hurt it real bad, and you see sparks flying out. The O2 canister that would normally be life support, you can see like vapor air just spewing out into space and disappearing in a bubble around it. Yeah, it's not good. This guy, that's not great.
And we
Oh,
got one
back-
more shot.
Look,
Lexi.
I got him.
Good
Lexi,
shot.
you see that shot and you recognize that Sandthrower's got a little more punchy going on right now. You might be able to get something out of this. and go ahead and take your shot. Your modifier will be your shoot skill plus dexterity plus your attack bonus, I believe is what we came out to be, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
All right.
doing.
Yep.
Wait, the fuck?
Yeah.
So open up the horizon, click on the sand thrower, and then add those three things together for your modifier.
So on your character, it will be shoot for you is +2. Jesus fuck. Attack bonus, I believe for you is what, 1 or 2?
Should be
Two.
2.
2.
So 4 plus dexterity in this case, which is +1. So a +5 modifier to hit.
Is there shoot +2?
Okay.
Yeah, because they're both warriors.
Oh, right.
So you get a
Wait.
+5 bonus.
So am I shooting this from the horizon sheet? Or
Yeah,
am I
shoot it
Yes.
from the
From the
horizon
horizon
sheet.
sheet.
Yep.
Sand thrower.
Yep.
Modifier +5.
Yep. 13.
13.
This one, this field goes wide, and actually, it's interesting. You shoot about where that fighter would have been, but Leaf's shot actually got it. One of its thrusters towards the back, sort of malfunctioning, and it kind of went spinning. And it takes him a second to regain control, and the flak field unfortunately passes overhead of the fighter.
Good shot.
All right, that brings us down to Bridge.
That was me. That was at least like 25% me.
You effectively have 4 points.
I will use pursue target. We're gonna go take this sumbitch down.
Okay.
+1.
Post Dex pilot checks. Interesting.
Oof.
I believe that mostly just gets rid of any escape rating he has. But
You begin pursuing, and in his somewhat damaged state, he is not able to escape you or anything.
I would like to blare whatever the space equivalent is of a train horn behind him.
All right. All right. So he is going to flip around. He's going to actually make an escape target attempt after that. So it's going to be the same roll against you, Tex. It's going to be a
Another
13.
pilot.
Yeah, pilot Dex or pilot Int, your choice.
Oh, damn.
All right, so he gains 1 point of escape combat. He needs 3 to get the fuck out. But that's all his command points, so
Oh.
that's it. Brings us back around. Do you want to keep this same order, Cap?
I was debating on switching around comms and engineering.
Sure.
Yep, completely
Yeah,
up to you.
I'm gonna do that.
Having lost the thing at the end of the round, I'll just say we got him on the road. Shoot him. So hopefully
All
that will
right.
direct command points.
So that brings us to
Captain
Captain
Engineering,
actions. Do you want to support or do you want to into the fire?
I'm gonna
into the
do
fire is
support.
probably not great, but yeah.
Yeah,
Support.
I'm doing support again. Yeah.
Okay, who are you supporting?
Mm, who did I make go second? Okay. I'm going to
Sounds like everybody's
try the
on.
bridge again.
All right, bridge. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So that brings us to Jace will do his duty, do her duty. All right. Gives us 1 command point. And that brings us down to engineering.
We're gonna go above and beyond.
All right.
Similar to last time, but of course, at this point, I'm getting more power to the thruster, sort of making sure things are equalized, making sure nothing overheats, but still making sure everything is in top condition.
All right, give me another fix with Dex or Int.
Fix und Dix. 13.
More than enough. That gains you 2 more points.
Comes.
Nice. Yep.
I will attempt to defeat ECM again.
Okay. Okay. So I need a int program from you.
That's much better.
Seven. That is a fail on his part. Burns 2 command points.
And everybody gets +2 to hit on it.
Awesome. We can't fire this turn.
Can't
Yeah.
win. Oh, damn it. Support action went to Bridge.
All right.
Fuck.
Yeah, you got to pay attention, but you can always steal those command points. So
Granted,
brings us
actually,
to
no. Lexi has not done her duty yet.
Yep. So Lexi, if you want to do your duty, you can gain 1 command point, which is enough to fire 1 gun. You guys choose which gun.
And you get, I believe, a +2 to your attack bonus this turn.
Additional +2.
Yes.
So who wants to fire?
Leaf, you're the fucking
Okay.
weapons.
So it's a modifier instead of your regular, add 2. And on top of your regular modifier.
It would just come
So-
down to whoever pulled it first.
We're
Yep.
throwing out a +7.
Mm-hmm. +7 to hit.
Oh, damn.
I don't think that works like that.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
weird.
okay.
Oh.
No, sorry, it's +6 to hit, which means it does make
For me.
sense. This is really unlucky.
You do. I'm gonna give you a little tip. You do have your auto reroll if you want it.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I do. Thank
Hey.
you.
Everybody here has auto rerolls if they want them. Once per combat
Well
encounter.
aware. Haven't, well,
Yeah.
once per combat encounter?
There
Okay,
we
that's better.
go.
Once per
That's
session.
fucking better.
Yeah. All right. 2 more points shaved off this thing. It is looking hurt. You're seeing it starting to limp a bit. As it's not holding a straight and true course anyway. It's the pilot is definitely having to adjust the trajectory as they're flying. All right. That brings us to
Bridge.
the bridge.
You don't have any points left, right?
You
No,
are
but you
no,
can
but you are
evasive
supported.
maneuvers.
You are considered
Evasive
supported.
maneuvers is free.
Yeah, because that's 2. Yeah.
So evasive maneuvers would be free.
That's all right. I'll do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Until the
Dex
next
pilot.
turn.
Yeah.
No, I was just checking to make sure how long it lasted.
Yeah.
10.
That's
Which-
enough. You guys gain a +2 to your AC. You see this thing, the fighter is starting to roll around a little bit, and you get the feeling that this guy has just kind of hit the fuck it limit and basically burns away from you, quickly flips his ship around, and is going to take a shot at you.
That's a terrible idea.
We have reached
Yeah.
the fucking zone.
Nope.
And he fails. He gets a reroll too. So 19
Even with the
for
OSHC,
1.
that still hits.
So ours
Yep.
is 16 right now. So that's
Yep.
Yep. He then switches back and keeps powering away, but he does not have the command points to actually attempt to escape. Back to you guys.
at the end of the turn to say, hey, we need to get some guns on mostly to Captain Evil.
You said we need to get the guns on? Is that what
Yeah.
you said?
As in, like, shoot him, as in support the gunner.
Oh.
Because there's not much that I could do that we need to do for point.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
chose not to run off, so you can take him out.
All right. I'm going to. Okay, the order. Let's see.
Order's probably good.
Yeah.
Unless you just want to swap gunnery to the bottom so that everyone has a chance to support it.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave bridge at the bottom just in case we want to escape after or evasive or something. Okay, then I'll support the gunnery and keep it in that order.
Okay. Jace and Busty, I assume, are going command points.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Jace.
Yes.
I'll just do that right away. That way it's easy. Engineering.
We're working overtime.
All right.
Keeping things up, keeping things going, making sure everything does not die.
Just duty, or
Yep. I'll do my duty. Yeah, I'll just
All
do
right.
a very simple one.
all right. Comms.
We're at plus 2 points.
We're at 3. If you wanted to, you could. You could use a
Defeat ECM
tower
again.
because we do have enough
2
points to
extra.
fire all guns.
Okay, I will
long as-
roll defeat ECM again.
All right. Go ahead. Ty. What's your base with int?
My base
Like,
int is
your
16.
modifiers.
It's a +1.
All right. You know what? Let's just re-roll again. See where it ends up. All right. You win. That way there's no ties. I think that's the easiest way to do it.
I think
I
it's
was like-
basically against a save, so I think that would beat.
Yeah.
But either way,
Yeah, either way. All right. So defeat ECM. Gunner, you are firing with a +2 bonus.
yeah, 1 command point, but everything is -2 cost. What you doing?
And fire all guns.
All right.
Fire everything.
So the value is 5 again still for me?
It's +7
plus
Plus
7
seven
now.
for you.
Okay.
Seven
Plus
for you.
6 for
Plus-
me.
because of that defeat ECM. 15 just misses.
Oh.
7
I'm
just-
going to make that hit though.
Reroll,
Lexi,
you want to
do have a
reroll
reroll?
to try
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do it? Same modifier +7. See if it works.
Oh no! The warrior thing makes it instant attack, doesn't it? Makes the attack.
I thought it was a
instant hit.
reroll.
Oh
I'm
wait, no, you might be.
pretty
Might be
sure
right.
it's.
You can either choose to negate a successful attack roll against you, or turn a missed attack roll you made into a successful attack.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like that to hit, please.
All right.
We'll like
So-
to turn it into diamond glass.
So you fire out this flak round, and it does not look like it's gonna hit as it, but it sort of delays on its impact. Leaf, as you fire the multifocal laser, the fighter dodges out of the way directly into the path of the flak round as
Nice.
so most flak rounds detonate away from the target. This one detonates inside of the fighter. That fighter
So you could
is
say it's a
very,
money shot.
very gone. Holy shit.
You
6
got a money
damage
shot
is-
right in the face.
6 damage means that this thing has been 150% overkilled. It only had HP, 8 HP. So, yeah, as
Dear
this
Lord.
thing literally explodes, you see various bits of debris just burst out in every direction, following mostly the flak trajectory, so you guys don't get a lot of blowback.
That's good.
As yeah, that fucking worked.
Talk
Great
about
shot,
money
dude.
shot
That was 1 in a million.
until the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to channel my inner Han Solo, all right?
All right.
I turn the red lights off and go, you may now resume normal operations. Having realized that I had told the intro to go to fuck to sleep, and then immediately we had a red alert.
Yeah. You get like just a little comms light up to the bridge. Are you sure you're over now? Because
Yeah.
you did.
Sorry.
Alright.
Sorry. I didn't know it was a pirate, all right? My bad. All right. Go back to sleep.
It's all right. I will now attempt to actually sleep. Thank you.
I dimmed the lights in the.
Gonna a shout from Oswald later. God damn it, I can't see.
He's got lights. It'll be fine.
All right. But yeah, you get it around to you're back to good to go. You guys have maintained a little bit of damage, but not too insanely crazy. You're structurally intact, but there's definitely some pitting and holes here and there. You spend a little bit of time patching up the worst of it, making sure nothing's depressurizing before you hit spike space, and you can make your jump if you
Wait,
so desire.
does the sheet for the ship automatically calculate maintenance based on HP, or has that been there? The maintenance cost.
No,
Oh no,
the
that's the
maintenance
6 month
cost is
thing.
always there.
Okay,
Yeah, 6
I
months.
had noticed that, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
there is in the book an actual cost per point of hull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
That's cool.
1,000 credits per point of hull.
Yep.
All right.
Notably, healing in combat is free, which is weird, but we'll ignore that for now.
Okay.
The idea is it hasn't
It-
had. It's a quick fix. It's not entirely broken yet.
Correct, but does that mean you
Oh,
can't
okay.
heal above what you started combat with?
I would argue, yeah, actually, that would make some sense.
Hmm.
Okay, you all trim the course, and
All right. There's no difficulty check because of Starfare,
yep.
and you guys are on your way once again. I think we'll go relatively quickly through this part.
All right.
You're still working. I'm not gonna make you roll for it, or anything. You guys finish up the thrusters. Um, Indra, y'all talk with Indra a little bit about various plans and if the idea is even feasible to put somebody down there first. Then, Narisha, you're working with the other psychic, I assume, a little bit more.
Yeah, we need to finish up whatever we were doing.
Okay. You start to get like the basics. It's not enough to you start to find a little bit of a pathway, but nothing too major. Um, but you learn a lot of exercises to start learning those techniques properly. You know that even from your own experience that it just takes a long time to really master those techniques. The point that I'm making here is if you would like to actually master that technique, take Wild Psychic as a foci and you will have it. And you have an inroad to do it now. um, Specifically for that domain of abilities because it's not within the telepathy, unfortunately. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, you also recognize what it feels like uh, when somebody does fuck with your own powers and how to kind of find those people, pick them out so that you can make it stop one way or another, which is just a generally useful skill. If everybody else is happy with that, Jace, you're I assume working in the med bay over some samples that you may or may not have collected.
Yeah, I will be.
All right. You don't really find too much of what you were looking for here. Definitely some genes in the genome that are better suited for dry and arid climates, but nothing like what you were really what the mother lode is, at least not from your samples.
Okay.
But potentially something useful for future, for sure. You check up on your patients, and they all seem to be doing significantly better now. Minimal bruising. Look like they'll be recovered in a few days. Properly recovered anyway. So, with that, if there's anything you guys want to add during your 3 days, we can. If not, we'll pop out to your refueling and go from there.
Fix.
I'm gonna probably finally pop out of my essentially man cave and see what's going
Lexi's
on.
right there waiting for you.
Oh god, no!
Oh,
Close the
no.
door!
I'm
Close the door!
Oh, but I want it to be that.
But yeah, I'll probably finally go check out what's going on back there and see the map if it's out.
Oh, it's taped to like the side of the shipping container now that everybody's kind of on board with what the plan is.
Huh. So is this where we're dropping them off?
Who are you
You're
asking?
I don't know. Is there anybody around? I'm literally just talking to myself.
If you're in the cargo bay, just the women that are back there, and then maybe also
Oswald and Evil are both back there. Probably. Yeah, sorry. Oswald and Evil would be back there probably.
I'll probably go find the captain and ask him what the map's about. So, do you know what that is?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What did you say?
I was gonna go like find the captain in the hangar bay and ask them if they know anything about this map that's suddenly on the wall.
Do I?
Actually, I don't know if you were if you would have been consulted or were paying attention during that whole planning phase.
I was talking to the psychic, right?
Yeah, and Indra was sort of handling that map at the time. Although she's passed out right now.
I don't think I was paying any attention to them because we were in a lot of concentration in that moment.
That's fair.
Yeah, okay. Durrani kind of gives you a thumbs up and just calls the Tex over the comm while he's walking away. Hey, Tex. Mr. Tex, what's this map thingy back here in the hangar bay?
well, it's a map of some buildings. Why do you ask?
What are they expecting there besides, like, getting in?
Well, they're trying to figure out where their people are, trying to rescue them.
Huh. So there's like a picture of actual like a comms tower, right?
Yeah, it's a very obvious, pretty large comms tower. You'd know it as a relay tower to actually hit some of the courier satellites that are placed around the system, which update news for the entire sector. And so courier ships will drop into a sector. They tend to be very, very fast and pretty small. They drop into a sector, pick up information, go to the next populated sector, drop off that information, pick up new information, and continue on their routes.
Got it. I
Think
might
kind
be
of
able to.
technical newspaper delivery, boys.
I might be able to help with that if they have any sort of record keeping on base. We'll have to find out when we get there, though.
Well, we'll see what happens when we get there. We might be a bit of a hot drop. I don't know that we'll have time to do much of it.
Well, yeah, if there's any time in orbit or whatever, I can see if I can't tap into the systems there and see what's up.
All right, good to know.
All right.
I think Lexi would probably want to pull Lise aside at one point, talk to him.
All right. Yeah. So, where are you at, Lee? If you didn't step out or aren't muted.
Tanaka.
Tanaka said he's back.
Give him a minute.
He
Either
did.
way.
He died.
Tex, you would get a reminder, little text message in.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep, we can hear you now. But in sort of like sleep text form, right? Like it's really obvious that the person that's texting you is either drunk or asleep, for the most part. Just reminding you that they do want to switch the position of their the shipping crates,
Yeah.
and then it's just nothing.
I was gonna wait to do that until we were basically approaching for the refuel, since that'll be their people there or somebody.
Yep.
And then Tanaka, it was Lexi was looking for Leaf.
Okay.
Yeah, Lexi would want to pull Leaf aside and kind of just talk to him without anybody really eavesdropping, or so maybe like in a hallway or just a random room or some shit. I don't know, wherever she seems to find him, and she would walk up to him and say, I don't understand. You wish to go into this place, and I I don't understand. You say you want to scope out the area, so to speak, but I can't see any other way of you identifying your comrades other than going up face to face. It makes no sense to me. What is your plan here?
Well, after I was rescued, I went to this place for training.
Ah,
And
it's
guess what?
familiar. It's home for you, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
And hopefully, without too much issue, I should be able to tell whether or not something is up with this place.
Da, okay, I understand that. I am just wondering, what happens if shit goes south?
I'll shoot my way out.
I believe it would be better if you had someone else there with you.
Oh?
At least pushing from ground, be another direction of attack for when these crazy bitches come in and insult this.
Yeah, they are kind of crazy, huh?
I, I do not care. They seem very well. Uh, fuck, I don't care. I could I could crush these women. They do not threaten me one bit. But either way,
Right.
I am concerned about your safety in this regard. So I do
Oh,
wish to
you do
be.
care.
I will crush your face right now if you continue to speak like that to me.
It's so cute. Well, thank you for your concern. It is very much appreciated. And this is when she hits him in the head.
Killing him instantly.
I will get my things
Oh.
ready. We'll go off to the shuttle soon.
Okay, fair enough.
No, okay. And she'll head off.
All right. Leaf,
Yep.
after that discussion, it would occur to you that, like, if you don't have a symbol, they'll just shoot you. Nobody that is
Oh, yeah.
not a refugee or, you know,
Yep.
a member is allowed on that base. So
Yep.
keep it in mind. All right. So
Was that base like in the mountains, or is it just
it
ice
is
shelf?
it is an ice flow, actually. It's a frozen over kind of glacier area.
Okay.
There is actually a large glacial wall nearby that provides some cover from the wind and blizzards. which seems to be why it was built there. But the planet itself is about 95% water. Um,
And about 80% ice.
All right.
well, up at the poles, it's mostly ice.
Yeah.
It's a relatively cold planet. It storms a lot. And the typical, it is actually kind of a refugee planet. It's kind of just a place that people dump people. It's a little off the beaten path. Less reputable deals happen there a lot, and it's known as kind of a rougher area. Most places, most populated areas or cities of any type are built on literally large floating cities that float in the water, kind of like Camino, but like boats. Um, that's the general idea of the place. There are small pockets, like archipelagos of very small islands that sometimes people will build networks of domiciles on, but typically speaking, your cities are floating there, and it's cold as shit. Usually around, like at the equator, maybe 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and gets colder from there real fast. So
That sounds good right about now.
yeah, the average temperature on the surface is about 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Balls.
So all right, so that brings us to the end there. Once again, you get your alert of 1 hour until spike exit.
Yep.
Which comes relatively quickly. And once again, Spike Drive charges up to create a tunnel out of Spike space. And you are in a void sector. There's nothing apparently there at all.
I'll send a comms thing to Girani and say, hey, could we get a sector ping? One ping only.
No, yeah.
See if we
it's-
can
it's
identify
weird.
a ship that's nearby.
There's nothing sending any signals out. Let me get on that.
All
What do
right.
I roll?
Just give me a notice with your highest of intellect or wisdom. All right. You send out a ping, and you do see a little ways away, sort of from, I guess you could call it like the north part of the sector, as rotated or
Galactic North.
comparatively compared to on the map, the northern part. There is a ship similar sized to you, that has sort of turned and is now flying in your general direction.
I'm going to start broadcasting our normal signature of Free Merchant, the Horizon, and I'm gonna go relay that to the bridge. We got something about our size coming our way.
All right, I'll I guess just send a message or get on the comms or whatever with the cargo bay with Indra and just go, hey, so we got a ship heading toward this. I assume that
I hope so.
is there a password or anything we need to share with?
No. I'm not entirely sure who was sent, but they should know who you are. Um, I would expect some communication soon. If not, perhaps it's a problem.
Yeah, I'll get on our comms and send out, I guess, an open broadcast, however that works.
Yeah.
Just say this is Free Merchant Horizon requesting requesting the incoming ship to identify.
All right, just audio, like radio sort of thing.
Yeah, just radio. Yep.
Okay. A minute or two goes by. and then you get a return transmission. Well, fuck. I ain't heard that voice in a minute.
Oh shit, Skippy's at you.
It is. How
Oh
you
shit.
doing?
Goddamn, Skippy.
Oh,
I
good
didn't know I
God.
was coming out here to see your ass.
Shit,
Fuck.
are you the refueler?
I guess they paying me to
Damn,
do it.
damn son, boy, it's been ages since I seen you. Hell, we ain't even in a bad spot. Well, actually, since it's you, we have had a little bit of damage. That might be something you could look at real quick for us.
I think I might be able to do something about that.
Well, fuck.
I mean,
And breeder.
hearing your voice, man, out of the fucking black like that, and not your ship.
Well,
Fuck me,
that's a
really,
long
that's a
story.
weird one.
I'll tell you that we got some liquor over here, man. I'll treat you. We'll give you a little bit of story about that. But yeah, for right now, we got a new ship, got a bit of a new crew, and we're doing some work. But we need some fuel. We need maybe some light repairs, nothing too major. And yeah, get on over here, man.
You said liquor?
Hell yeah, I said go ahead and punch it.
All right. Yeah. Johnny, you notice that on comms, the ship's speed increases drastically.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
just,
No,
just
don't fret.
barreling down.
This looks like an intercept course.
Nah. Well, it is, but it's all right. It's a friendly intercept.
All right.
We decided on what was it, Skipper or Skippy for the name?
Skippy.
Skippy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So yeah, his ship is just barreling your way. It'll be about an hour or two before he gets to you.
Yeah.
That being said, he may or may not have done some aftermarket work on his engines. And hearing alcohol might have motivated him pretty well.
I'll get on the comms and say, all crew be advised, we will have a friendly visitor boarding in about probably an hour. Also fuel and all that such. So we can go ahead and move the shuttle and the crates if you.
All right. And you see through CCTV or those of you in the cargo bay, the Rojavan militia sort of pack up everything into the crates and close and lock the doors. Basically just to secure them.
And I assume they
and
have
prepare for
control
whatever.
of the air in there, or however they're going to move stuff around if they have to open it.
Seems like they probably do.
Okay, good, because I don't want to vent them on accident.
No.
Here, I'll do it for you guys.
Yeah, there's manual controls for the air for the cargo bay, so I'll say it's not particularly difficult. Whoever wants to pilot the shuttle out and kind of around and back in as things move around.
I'll do it. Me.
Oh god.
All
right.
Kidding. No.
You're going to give it a try? It's pretty easy.
No, Lexi
Nice
would
show,
probably
really.
be
Complex
waiting. She'd
control.
probably be well ready and like prepared a while back and just hanging out in the cargo bay. She'd probably keep an eye out for whoever is going to be piloted.
I mean, either I can do it or it's technically evil ship. So
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
yeah, you would have been back there anyway.
Yeah. So you can just pretend like your shuttle's up here out of the way for the moment. All right. But about an hour goes by, and for those of you actually able to look outside, you can see well,
a suicide burning coming in.
yeah, definitely a suicide burn. But more importantly, it is a Salvex free merchant ship, and it kind of looks like maybe 5 or 6 ships bolted together in a very haphazard way.
Oh, a redneck limo.
Basically, yeah. It is janky is not the word to use. It is so far past janky that it's It doesn't. It looks like a junk pile that somehow has engines. Um, but you can see that there's like a packed up sort of crane on it, some docking clamps along one side. Just it looks like there's a train oil, like an oil um train car just bolted to the side of the fucking thing. Um for you assume gas or fuel of some kind. Just, that but like 10 times uh larger. And it burns in and sort of matches your speed and slowly comes up to you. Um Immediately there's a large spotlight. Yeah, yeah, very much redneck limo. It's kind of like that but bulkier. Um it sort of comes up to the side. There's a spotlight that sort of scans along the ship looking for dings and breaks and stuff, like basically the results of your earlier combat. Um and then it sort of settles in. Um a few, maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, uh the airlock on the side opens up, as a long, relatively thin clamp rolls out and sort of grabs onto, I guess you could call it the neck of you guys' ship, sort of the thinner point along the fuselage, to secure them at least somewhat together. And without an apparent like RCS system, without an apparent any way to control himself, you see sort of a skinny guy in a somewhat armored, very, very blackened, like several explosions have gone off on the vac suit that he's wearing. Dude, just free jump straight to your ship.
That's the way you do it.
Oh man. I'll
Back
be
in my day.
yeah, I'll be just on the other side of the airlock door from where he comes in.
All right. You pop it open.
Well, once he
Yeah.
the exterior
He
door,
kind of,
yes.
yeah. He just, he almost misses, but manages to catch himself, literally does like a spin around one of the corners and flings himself inside. Sort of landing, catching gravity. And once the uh the outer airlock door shuts, before it's even really pressurized, again, he starts taking off his helmet. Just kind of a little bit crazy. Um, and underneath you see a kind of dirty blonde, stringy, half-shaven hairstyle, and you get the after looking at it at his head, you also get the idea that he's kind of got like that side cut thing going on, mostly because most of the hair there has been singed or otherwise evaporated off of his head, and this was sort of the best he could do with what he had. Um, he immediately pulls out a sort of like 10-gallon, once again, completely destroyed 10-gallon cowboy hat and puts that on instead. Sort of grinning a half-toothed grin at you, Tex, as he does, and the inner airlock door opens up. Hey, how you been?
Skippy, did you lose more teeth, man?
Only one or two. It's all
Alright,
good.
alright.
What?
Well, come on forward, man. Hey, y'all, and I'll turn everybody that's in the bridge, whoever the fuck's in the bridge. This here's Skippy. This is going to be the gentleman giving us fuel and maybe some repairs too. I don't know, we'll see. But he's an old acquaintance of mine. We've been in a few tough spots together. I've been stranded out in places, and this guy can get to you just about anywhere you want to get or you don't want to get, and get you back home. So he's a trustworthy source of mechanic and fuel expertise.
Well, that's mighty kind of you saying so. I don't know. It's just what I do. I guess I like tinkering with shit.
Well, you do it well. Let's go ahead and head on up to the bar. I know that's what you're here for.
Yeah, that's where we're starting. And
I'll
he
take him
walks up.
upstairs.
All right. You guys have a couple drinks as the ship that he is currently flying is automatically attaching um, a fuel line and beginning to
Oh, nice.
refuel your ship.
That's awesome. So I'll sit him down up there and shoot the shit for a little bit and then go, yeah. So you were asking about my ship earlier. That's still out there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I seen
Things.
it. I seen it not too long ago. I
Oh,
swear.
really? Where and how long ago specifically? And he gets like real more serious.
Oh well, let's see. I made a little jaunt out. Let's see. I came from Laos system not too long ago. Uh, that's 0201. I'll move you guys to the sector map just so you guys have some context. Uh, I saw it. I saw it when I was jumping, mind you. I thought it was kind of weird. I didn't really want to stop because I figured you was busy. But it was. I think I saw it over at 0103 going the other direction, and then I came down here. So maybe two 2 weeks ago, I did have a bit of a pleasure stop uh, over at the Bergen system. There's some kind of nice stuff happening there. Lots of lots of scrap for sale. Lots of fun little stuff if you know where to look.
That was 0103, right?
Mm-hmm. That's where he
Okay.
saw it. Don't know where it was going. I figured I'd leave you be. I tried to hail you on the comms, but you didn't answer. Now I
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah, somebody has not only been in my ship, but also is pretending to be me. Turns out, there's a bounty out for I've used large air quotes techs in that ship for about 14K, and I'm trying to find this some bitch, get my ship back, and turn them in, clear my name a little bit.
Only 14K, man. That's
Right?
small shit.
I know that's what offends me the most is that it's got my name on it and it's only 14K.
Man, I'm worth at least 18 grand in
Yeah, I'm
Tex Arcana. And
yeah.
I know in Pasaliran, I'm worth like 150, 160.
Well,
That
shit,
may or may
you're
not
just
have
making me feel
been
worse now.
that may or may not have been because I blew up like 6 Corvettes trying to fix them. But we don't talk about that no more.
Well, it depends if you were trying to fix them, if you were trying to fix them.
Oh, well, so they put these newfangled security systems in
Oh,
to
shit.
prevent theft. And like I was working on them. They asked me to work on them, so I was working on them. And well, I lost a bunch of hair for that. But let's just say you find your way around one, but the next one ain't the same. And it just keeps happening. And then he's
See,
just blown out into space
uh,
repeatedly. And that's how I lost my last tooth.
well, that's the fucking problem. They keep trying to make these ships more and more complicated. Whatever happened to just, you and the controls, and it's your hands back to the thrusters. Like, that's all, but now it's all complicated computer.
Exactly. That's why my ship is the way it is.
Yeah,
I tell you right now, I can fly faster than anybody else around here.
I
And that's
believe that.
except maybe you and that Mustang of yours.
Oh, man, I miss that ship.
Well,
This one's all right, but it's, well, let's say it's a rescue. It's not what I'd pick myself normally.
well, rescue. I like the sound of that. That's a nice way of saying it. Let's go take a look. Let's see what you got here.
Sure, sure. Oh, I'll introduce you to a buddy of mine. We've been running together for a few months now, I think. And he's a bit of a fixer himself. Not I mean, you guys are both very, very talented, but I have not seen him put together an entire spaceship like you can. So, but he's good. He's got potential for sure. He's a promising kid. I'll take him back to, I guess, the systems or cargo bay or something.
Yeah, back to the cargo bay first, because it's
Yeah.
kind of where you go to get to a lot of places.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll take him there and introduce him to Ozzy.
So
rest
all
his
of
good.
you see this spectacle of an individual walking through in a 10-gallon, mostly destroyed, like the top is completely gone and singed, cowboy hat, in a haphazardly sort of armored, almost if a vac suit could also be a blacksmith's apron, that would be what he was wearing right now. Um, with a rucksack with multiple tools sort of sticking out in every direction in such a way as that he could potentially grab all of them from it still being on his back.
I'll as people are looking up, I'll just let everyone know. Hey, y'all, this is actually an old acquaintance of mine. Where he's going to be the gentleman that's refueling us and maybe some repairs. He's a old fixer that can get to you just about anywhere you want in the solar system or the universe, whatever.
I also like to imagine that about at the point you mentioned Ozzy, there is a opening of the control room door. As Ozzy just kind of bolts in and says, "I heard scrap like 5 minutes ago. What's going on?"
Hey, Ozzy. So, Skippy, this is the young gentleman who's been running with me for a few months. This is Ozzy. Ozzy, this is Skippy. He is a very talented fixer who assembled most of, if not all of, that ship that is now refueling us and knows a thing or two about mechanics and fixing things up.
Can I see that ship from the window?
Uh, yeah, you can see part of it. The probably rusted out shipping container literally welded to the side.
Hmm. I think I made a drag race back in Houston 13 that looked like that. Yeah.
I'll turn to Skippy. So Ozzy's also sort of a rescue. Found him in a big city on some planet far off from here, but he's got a sharp eye for good.
It's like 3 jumps. Also, hi, I'm Ozzy.
Nice to meet you. If Tex vouches for you, I figure you're not so bad.
Yeah, same to you, I guess.
Well, that's those pleasantries out of the way. Show me your work, man. I want to see what you do.
Uh, just kind of gestures to himself up and down. He's still wearing most of the
Yeah.
Icarus armor.
Well, that ain't half bad. I built something like that when I was, maybe around 12, 13. Yeah, it's so I will give you a little heads up. If you take in this seam right here and then you add a little loop, you can make a little piece for attaching when you're out spacewalking, unless you're crazy like me and don't really need it no more.
Yeah, it's not really meant for the spacewalking, more for the atmospheric falling, kind of two opposite things there. Um, but no, it's more meant for maneuvers on stations or just keeping sure that they don't fall to unstable conditions or anything like that. It's also so I don't get shot. Helps. Um,
I
Well,
I,
why
I
wouldn't you
will.
want to get shot now? That builds character, puts hair on your chest.
it does neither of those things. Also, it hurts like a
Eh,
lot.
what's a little pain?
I will
Well,
say it never hurts to always be ready for a spacewalk because if you lose a window or something and you're up in the front, yeah, it's good to be able to have that ability at any.
well, obviously it's vac sealed. I'm just saying it's not meant for that. Anyways, I'll also note that getting short means a trip to the nurse's office, and that's
Oh yeah, that. Mm-hmm. I turn back to Skippy. Yeah, he's actually got a real good point. See, we got this nurse doctor lady, and honestly, I think she might be crazier than you at this point. If she offers to replace any parts on you, just say no. Just pass by. No, just no, thank you, ma'am, and move on.
and this is under with granted she can do some improvements.
Well,
Should give him like
we'll
crazy
cross that
fucking
bridge when we get to it.
crazy
Either
Wi-Fi
way,
teeth.
what do you need at the moment?
So we took a few hits from a fairly small fighter. I roughed up some plates, some pits, that kind of stuff. Nothing too major, but then mostly the fuel is what we're needing. We're just having to hop, skip, and jump on over to a planet in the nearby.
All right. Well, the fuel I can do no problem. Actually, I'm already doing it. Well, Sheila's doing it, but that's beside the point. Uh, so as for patchwork, I got some extra scrap. We can put something together if you want.
Sounds good to me.
Looks like he had a couple larger holes down in the lower section. Good thing he didn't hit none of the important bits, but yeah, give me about 2 hours. I could probably weld a couple plates in those places, and it ain't gonna look pretty, but none of my repairs ever do, but they do work.
That's all right. We just need to be up at full fight and strength just in case things go south. Up coming up.
All right. Well, I'll see if I can't get something working for you here in just a little bit.
That'd be great. I'd greatly appreciate
You know,
Um,
excuse me, I've got to get back to work on working on some military grade technology with my with a friend of God.
it.
that got
His
me.
girlfriend.
Yeah, right. With my.
We're just friends. Mhm.
Oh, that's good. That was some good old fashioned dick measuring right there. I think I did that when I was 12.
All right. Well, if nothing else, got another one of those bottles?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You can have it once you get done with the repairs. All right. I don't want you stealing too much of our stuff. We only got so.
All right.
So
All
you come
right.
on back inside when you're done, and then we'll celebrate.
All right. Well, taking scrap off me. It's gonna run you a little bit. These are good pieces I managed to source. But considering it's an old friend, let's put the
Double
cost
price.
around 3,700.
All right. I think we can get that up. I'll talk to some of the crew.
All right. I'll get to work. And he goes back to the airlock and just jumps right back out. Just flying. You see, he actually misses for a second. And he's drifting underneath the ship, and he pulls out what looks like a large cylinder attached to a rope and throws it up. And apparently, it's just a big ass magnet, and pulls it as a tether, and
Jesus.
and
That
pulls it
works.
back on.
Oh, that's great. I'll I don't know, gather up whoever's here in the back and just say, hey, I know we don't have much of a ship's fund yet, but we can go and get this thing repaired while we're also getting refueled, and they cost about 3,700 credits, but that's going to be way less than it'll be anywhere else. So if we want to get, I can chip in 1,000 because I was piloting, so I claim some responsibility over that. But if y'all want to help out with the rest, I'd really appreciate it.
I've got 200 credits to my name. Just saying.
All right, that's fine. You don't have to be in there. So
Wait, why are we talking
so
about money?
Captain Evil and Ozzy, and then I'll go find who else we might.
Jace.
Yeah, Jace. I was just gonna start with whoever's in the cargo bay and then work my way forward.
Lexi and all them. Yeah.
Where's Gianni? I think that's the right name.
I'm in the comms room.
Hiding.
Yes.
Leaf will go and knock on the comms room door.
Yes.
Care
Just
if I
like
come
through
in?
the door. Sure. Then I'll just unlock the door.
He'll step in, close the door behind him. I need to make a call. But as you're probably aware, I'm not exactly sure how.
Ah. Okay. You have your data slab? Do you have your comms lab? Or comped?
Nope.
Didn't we just get you one before we left?
Revamp. I broke it
Okay.
because I kept getting these like weird calls that no one answered. So I did what I do best and smashed it.
Oh, weird. Could just be something about being in Spike space. Well, all right, come over here. We're gonna sit down at the chair. Who do you need to call?
He's gonna call. Wait, give me just a sec. Trying to figure out who it was that Raven wanted me to come up with names for.
I'm just gonna need name and an ID. ID code.
He'll give you a name and ID code for his teacher, basic
Okay.
training teacher.
I'm gonna go ahead and
I haven't come up with a name yet.
latch
No
onto
worries.
the nearest comm array and like, do you want me to step out for this or?
There
Don't
is
break
no
anything.
comm array in this sector. It is a void sector. You can prepare the message, but it will not send until you get to Makula.
Okay.
That
Well,
is
yeah.
the downside with these blank sectors. There is Nothing
Nothing.
there.
Okay, so knowing how that works, I would probably tell him, okay, so this is gonna be just pre-recorded. So you want me to step out or anything while you do it? Just wait for the red light to start blinking and then hit this
Okay.
button right here when you're done.
Okay. I think I can remember that.
I'm gonna step out of the room.
Smash.
He'll start as soon as it's ready. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Any ideas on the current state of our old training base? Just curious. Feeling a bit nostalgic and all that crap. If you can get back to me as soon as you can, that's cool. And he'll hit the red button.
That was believable.
Was that sarcasm?
Yes, very much.
I couldn't-
feeling feeling nostalgic. I somehow doubt that.
You never know.
All right, give me your money.
Everybody chip in.
Money.
1,000 will fix 1 whole point, so I'll just take that right now.
Traffy literally ran away. All right, that's good.
I ran away.
No, oh, there you are. Never mind, you came back.
So is everyone shipping in some credits?
I mean, I am, because I like having a ship with full health.
Yeah.
Would if I could.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You've explained your situation. That's understandable.
Okay, I guess I'll do. It kind of depends on how much other people are willing to chip in. I'll do 500.
Okay.
I can do another 5.
It's another hull point.
All right, 700 left. Or no, sorry, 1,700
17.
left. My bad.
Yep.
Math
Wait, 1,700 left for what?
for ship repairs.
Oh. I'll put in 500.
Okay.
I'll give another 500.
All right. That gets you to 19
Okay.
out of 20, which is
I'll
better.
I'll let Skippy know that, don't
Yep.
fix it all the way. Just get the work.
Yeah. He goes through, he fills in the bigger holes and stuff. There's some pitting and some weaker spots, but nothing too major. And he does what he can to sort of shore up where he is. And it's just like, well, if it was just work, I wouldn't mind. But, well, materials cost money, and
Yeah, I understand. No problem, man.
Well, you're about wrapped up here. I should be able to take off in about 30 minutes or so. Mind you, this is after about a day of him repairing and fixing stuff. And, well, safe travels, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, you as well. Yeah, we'll wrap this up, and I'll have to try and look you up sometime. Oh, let me know, however you can, if you see that ship again, because I'm gonna find that son bitch. I want to get my ship.
Will do. Well, now, do you mind if I put a couple dings in it if I see it? Because somebody having your ship, man, you were one of my best customers, and I'd like you to have it back, because if you're going to be my customer again,
Yeah, hey, if you want to, as long as you get it stopped, you can ding it as much as you want.
All right.
But hold on to that son bitch, because I want my hands on him for sure.
All right, well, we'll worry about that when we get there, but this sounds like a fun time.
Feel free to put out some feelers out on the radio too, if you might help me track him down a little bit.
I'll see what I can do. I got a few friends around still. I think we
good.
might be able to do a little recon.
Sounds good to me. I appreciate it.
And
I'll toss him a whole bottle.
all right. He immediately just drinks it all. Just
now do you
chugs it.
see why I waited until you were done with the work?
I work better when I'm drinking. Shut the hell up.
Fair
And
point.
he jumps back to his ship after collecting his money or whatever. And after he's done, the docking clamp sort of, or unattaches itself, folds back into the ship. And then, just to signify about how crazy he is, you notice his ship start to vibrate a little bit as the engines kick on. And not in a I'm about to take off sense, in a more my spike drive is running right now sense, about half a click from your ship.
Nice. Well, shit, I was
And,
gonna do that.
and he just pops, just fires straight off into spike space from there. Um,
And I do it as well.
all right, and you guys turn around, head down. All right, which will take you guys to Mikula with a hopeful plan happening once you get there.
Yeah, I
But
hope
for
we're
the
getting fuel on the
purposes
way
of this,
back, or there's some sort of fuel there because we only have 2 jumps we can.
we'll have to figure that out.
Yep.
There is a spot that is within 2 jumps, but
what day
what?
do we start
Because we have
on?
to jump there, and then we just have 1 jump left.
yeah. But if you fueled up there, you'd have
Yeah,
to.
if
Fuel
yeah,
up
if we
here,
can't.
we
And
can go to 006, and then from there we can figure out what we're gonna do.
isn't it just the mercenary station that's here, or is there a public
No,
one too?
there's other stuff.
Oh, okay, all right. Never
I
mind.
will be giving you a full data sheet on the
We
on
do
the
probably
place.
want to fuel up first before going to the.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
the
for sure.
operation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. Might be able to. Edit. Duplicate. Edit. All right, yeah, and I'll work on that in a little bit and give you guys the system info. But I think at about this point, we'll call that wrapped up. You guys are inbound to Mikula. We'll do this. You guys, nothing weird happens in Spike Space because you don't have to worry about that too much.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Unless we do some really weird shit in Spike Space.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the possibility.
Leaf hits a random
You
button
are-
on a console in the ship. Suddenly, everything starts shaking.
No, more like if I try and do some really weird shit in Spike Space, like
Yeah.
go to uncharted territory, or
Yep. So, you guys will be headed into Mikula. If you guys want to, you can throw up stuff that you did on the way. We'll probably pick up about halfway through your plan, or like the day before you guys pop out of Spike, so that we can cover anything that you guys want to do before actually getting in system. But between now and then, if there's any projects or whatever, that way we're speeding it up because there's a lot of RP stuff in transit this time. But I wanted to.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
No, yeah, all I would do is probably get caught up on the plan, and then, upon realizing, oh, he's actually going in there, or Leaf is actually going in there, I'm going to ask him if he knows any security protocols. And then realizing who I'm asking, just be like, never mind. Do you guys
He
keep records?
just looks at you blankly.
do they use computers?
What's
Well,
up
you
with
would know
your-
the answer to that.
Yeah,
but-
right, yeah, fair point.
Yeah, I'll put together the little system sheet for you guys for Mikula. That should be available tomorrow.
And
If
then,
you want to look over it early, that's fine. There might be some extra info because you're going there for a mission, quote unquote, or a job. Meanwhile, Jace, you would get actually a visit from Indra on this leg of the journey.
Okay.
And she's just complaining of not being able to sleep, like at all. And we'll cover that a little bit more on the next episode, quote unquote, to make it a little bit simpler. But my voice is starting to wear out, and I don't really want to do accents anymore.
amazing. You gotta do
Skippy,
occasion one soon.
Skippy took it out of me a little bit.
Oh shit, did you Hyperion?
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, always remember. Never forget. Scooter.
Yeah, man. That
Catch
was
a
the
ride
inspiration
together.
That
for
was the
Skippy.
inspiration behind that character.
Hell yeah.
So,
I was like, I need to know somebody who's like AAA for space. He's like,
yep.
all right.
Oh,
Yeah, so
crap.
that is Sabers. I know a guy. If you
Yep.
guys have
Mhm.
one, feel free to PM it to me. It will get incorporated. I don't know how or when. It just this one made sense.
I have some
So
ideas.
for
And
this,
that guy's
yeah.
probably like an A and a half at most.
No, he's really good. His stuff just looks like shit, but he can
He's
fix all kinds of stuff.
he's definitely a make it work,
Yep.
not make it look pretty.
It's
kind of
AAA, but
person.
in 3 different fonts.
Yeah, there you go. That's really
or
good.
all Comic Sans. I mean,
Well,
you're not sure
one
which.
of them is Comic Sans. Another one's
Yeah.
Papyrus. The other one's
Oh
probably
God.
Impact or some shit.
Oh
Last
no.
one's Wingdings.
Wingbats.
Oh god.
Okay, well, for anybody who's watching, thanks for sticking around. I guess, why would you put yourself through this? And for anybody who's catching up on this on YouTube, I know there's a couple missing episodes. We'll maybe get to that eventually. But thanks for
That's because we
sticking
did
around
stuff
and
and I didn't
watching.
want to stream.
And we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.